All right, guys, let's have a little bit of fun here. I've been meaning to watch this for a while because it looks like a good watch. It looks like a good reaction, a good review, guys. Apparently, Ethan talks to, I guess, a self-proclaimed alpha male, and it just looks kind of interesting. I've actually seen a lot of clips on TikTok about it. I think Ethan and them have been putting up a lot of clips, and they're very interesting. Some of the conversations are actually interesting. Like, there's one about depression that I'm interested in getting to and whatnot. So let's watch this. Let's get it going.
Plastic surgeon?
No, Cam.
Oh, he's
Cam when he was just nice last
Peter
year.
Pan.
When
Peter Pan. All right, we
Who's
have
this
someone
guy?
on hold.
Yep.
We have an esteemed guest here who I'm very much looking forward to talking to again. Let's just get him on the line and then.
Okay, I'll let him in right now. Stand by.
There we go.
Okay, let's get him in.
Hey, Sebastian.
How's it going?
Thanks
How's
for
it going?
calling.
Hold on.
How do we feel about the name Sebastian? Is it a good name? Is it like an esteemed name, or is it like kind of cringe? I don't know. It's like it's one of those ones that's like right in the middle. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you got to get that LaCroix queued up, huh?
Wow.
Get it in the chamber,
good.
as they say. First of
Beautiful
all,
stuff.
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for calling in. You know, I really appreciate it. You know, so we're we're here.
Before we start, could I just sent you guys a request to record it if you guys could accept that,
Absolutely,
that'd be great.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Alrighty.
just clicked allow.
It doesn't seem so, but that's okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
Oh wow, they really let the people know.
Okay.
Okay, well, so
Where are you at, Ethan? Are you in the Amazon rainforest?
oh, you see the green screen? No, I'm in Los Angeles. It looks like a shithole in actuality, but here it's beautiful. Okay, so Sebastian, I kind of was refreshing everybody. You went viral for your Lamborghini clip and
Correct.
a few other
Lamborghini.
things. But recently, what caught my attention was this clip of you talking about me, and I thought, let's just go through it. Let's just go through it and talk it out, right? Because that's the best way to deal with these things, right? So let's hash it out. So.
Okay.
So here's Sebastian on Ethan Klein on his TikTok page. Let's see.
Some people are really stupid. Ethan Klein is the worst.
Okay. So I am really stupid.
Oh yeah, hold on. I like that
Some
picture.
people are really stupid. Ethan Klein
It's an interesting picture. I'm sorry.
is the worst.
Okay.
Okay. So I am really stupid. Let's start there, I guess.
Did I say that? Did I say Ethan Klein is really stupid?
Oh, here, I'll go back.
Like here's the thing. I'm gonna be real here. Okay. There are plenty of things to criticize about Ethan, but sometimes it seems like when people go after Ethan, it might just be a little bit of a clout grab because he's a generally easier target. I'm not saying that there aren't things to criticize. Last year there were plenty of things to criticize. Especially, I always talk about how crazy things were, especially up till last year. Everybody was going bananas. I feel like everybody was having like a little bit of crazy disproportionate energy, myself included, right? But nowadays it just kind of feels like it's just like, oh, Ethan bad, especially since my understanding is Ethan's been trying to like lose weight and get healthier. That's been a pretty big focus for him. So, God bless him.
Some people are really stupid. Ethan Klein is the worst.
No, he said Ethan Klein's the worst
So-
person or something.
We'll
I
get to that
said,
next.
I said some people are really stupid. And then when I said that, I was just like, okay, I gotta talk about Ethan Klein.
Now what made you
Okay.
think about me when you said some people are really stupid? Because that's how usually in language you're presupposing. You say some people are really stupid, like
Yeah.
Ethan Klein, who
And then you move on to the person that you think is stupid. Yeah,
I'm now going to talk about.
Yeah, so I was talking about someone else. His name is Bryce Hall. And we were just talking about some people basically jumping to conclusions, taking things that I've said out of context, and then jumping to a conclusion with absolutely no evidence.
Do you think it's
and then
fair-
believing those things. Well, hold on. And then believing those things without
Okay.
any actual evidence. And I was like, okay, people like that don't dig deep or fully know what they're talking about are in that moment really stupid. Maybe not stupid as people, but just being stupid in the moment.
Okay, interesting that
That's what I meant by
so
that.
we'll put a pin in that. That's interesting. So would you say that this is taken out of context, or how would you describe this? You say some people are really stupid. Ethan Klein.
Sounds like
What do you
might
mean
be
taking
talking
out
about-
Well, it's edited. Like you can't deny that it's edited to say I'm really stupid.
Well, I didn't tell the editors to do it that way. They edit however
Okay.
they edit.
Okay, if this is on his own page, then it's like he's right. Like we're not gaslighting me here, right? It's one thing if a random fan edited it and possibly took it out of context, versus this is something that's on your official channel that you had an editor edit for you, and then like what, you didn't watch the 15-second clip. I don't know.
I have no. I didn't even
Okay, cool.
approve that clip before it went out. So.
Okay, it's on your TikTok. This is your official TikTok page, right? Official. It says official. official?
No, actually, it's not. It's
Oh,
I don't even
okay.
have the login to that account. I have a team of people that post content for me to try to get more awareness for like me.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's that Hustlers University flow. It's like you have everybody else make clips of you for you, and then that's it. And then that's okay. Sure.
Team is posting on this.
Sure.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's your people. All right. So
Yeah.
the stupid thing, we're not standing by that, which is, oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I don't think I'm stupid. I don't think I'm the sharpest guy in the world, but I wouldn't say I'm stupid.
I agree
No,
with that.
you're not Ethan, you're not a stupid person. I mean,
Okay.
everybody does stupid things. Everybody has stupid moments. People
I
make
agree.
mistakes.
Yep.
I wouldn't say you're stupid, but yeah, what you did when you criticized me, you and your wife were saying some things that were just you guys were just jumping to a bunch of conclusions with no evidence at all, and a lot of them are wrong. You guys have this perception of me based on like several pieces of information, tiny pieces of information as to who I am.
I would love. I do want to get into that stuff.
I'm here to show you that.
Yeah,
I'm here to show you
good,
that.
good, great. I want to get into all that. So let's go. Let's just want to take. Once we get through this, then we can go talk about whatever we've said. Here it is.
People are really stupid. Ethan Klein is the worst person on the planet.
we all know.
Okay, so you say Ethan Klein's the worst person on the planet.
What's his argument for that?
Yes.
Okay, so you think I'm the worst person on the planet?
I'm quoting you. I'm quoting you, actually.
What?
I said you're the
You
worst.
said that.
I said you're the
No,
worst.
you
person.
said.
No, you said.
You
it.
said that I'm the worst. No,
you said I don't know. I'm just watching your video, bro.
All right, listen. I'll send I'll email or I'll DM you a link of the video where you say I'm the worst person on the planet. You say it. I'm quoting you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you remember?
I don't remember it, to be frank, but we can
Okay.
look it up. We can look it up.
All right.
And to be completely honest, and I'm sure you're aware of this. You don't have like exactly the best reputation in the YouTube space. Like,
Great.
That's true.
your content a lot of the time is pretty hateful and pretty negative.
Right.
And I know
That's true. And listen, I would say that it seems like this year there's been a bit of a marked change. I think for a lot of people. I think a lot of people have burnt out on like the drama. Not just like it's one thing to talk about it, but there's been so much disproportionate energy coming out. I think people are tired of it. Especially it's like it's all fun and games when you look at somebody else's issue, and I've done this too. Like, let's not pretend that I'm innocent. Where you look at somebody else's issue, and then you, whether it's intentional or not, you end up sensationalizing it and playing it up a little too much. And again, a lot of times I think it can be unintentional, and then all of a sudden you get hit with that same disproportionate energy, because you get what you put into the universe. And I think a lot of people have taken a step back, going, let me look at things a little bit more offline. Let me look at it in a little bit more of an offline perspective, a little bit more human, if you will. I think that's where we kind of are. And it seems like Ethan's doing that. I've been starting to like Ethan a little more. I don't think I'll ever like Hassan. I just don't like the guy. He smells like fucking barbecue pork. I don't even know why I said that, but I don't really like barbecue pork that much. Too much sugar in the sauce. I think they have something called Uncle Ben's that's sugar free though. So more you know.
You guys have beef with a lot of people. You don't like a lot of people, and I know you don't have the best reputation.
So when you say I don't have the best reputation, do you just mean that I'm
just gonna restart the whole thing.
I cause a lot of beef? Is that what you mean? That by reputation?
I got some beef for you.
Well, no, because your content, just since the beginning, your content has always been about like criticizing, making fun of, talking shit, disagreeing with people that have different beliefs than you, making fun of them, calling them names, etc. So you have a very negative audience, like a very negative type of content that you put out there. And I know you've had some beef with some people. I was doing some research on you, and you had beef with Keemstar, and obviously you don't like Andrew Tate. And I don't know, there's probably more people.
I think that the Andrew Tate one's a little justifiable, guys. Let's be real, okay? It's a little bit. The guy is not a great guy. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's just be moving
like
on.
those two guys?
I don't know anything about Keemstar. I've met Andrew before in London. When I met him, he was very nice to me.
Yeah.
And
he was
that's
very
what I know
nice
about Andrew.
Okay, so do you think it's possible?
Listen, we got to talk about it every time, and I got to link it in every fucking video I talk about. Andrew Tate, by his own words, I'm going to just show you. He did the sex trafficking, okay? His own words admitted it. I don't know what to tell you. He bragged about it. I'm not going to say admitted it. He's bragged about it. All right? I'm going to put it in again. All right? He brags about how he treats his webcam models different than other people, about how he treats them like prostitutes. I grew up around prostitutes, not super close to my house. A lot of them are forcibly given drugs and forced to turn tricks. He's talked about how he takes these girls' passports, about how he lures them in saying he'll marry them if they come over, gets them to do sex work, and he doesn't end up marrying them. He's stolen money from them, lying to them about how much taxes they have to pay. He engages in that lover boy method, even in those like heavily cut up messages where it seemed like they were trying to set him up for a Hollywood movie. Even in there, the person who made it is who cut it up like that is dumb and didn't realize that there's a point where the girls are like, we think we can leave only because the Tate brothers are so convinced that we're in love with him that we will come back. A lot of stuff. Okay. We're there. Okay. Now he might be seen as innocent inside of the courts. They show the clip. Good. We'll get there. He might be seen as innocent when they show the courts, and okay, that legal system did its thing. But frankly, considering the way that he talks about women and all the incredibly suspicious shit that he does, he's not a real man. So.
It's possible that when I'm criticizing people, it's from a place of, like, I think maybe the people that I'm criticizing are doing harm on other people.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you can. That's fine. Like, if you think somebody is hurting someone else and you want to call that out, you can. But your style, and you can't even argue.
Jimmy's passing me a note. 1 second.
What is going on here?
Jimmy,
I thought that was a green
note.
screen.
He thinks you're too young to understand.
I would completely disagree.
He says you're a kid.
Anything to do with it.
Yeah, listen, I say that sometimes too, because sometimes it's just like, you know, there is a wisdom you get when you get older, but then there's also a wisdom you lose when you get too old, right? And then you know, but it's probably not the best to just tell somebody that they're too young to understand something and then move on, because it does feel invalidating to young people, and I do understand that. I still think when you get older, you'll understand better what I'm saying. But I can understand that it's probably not the best thing to do, but it is a little bit funny.
Yeah. No. Just because I'm young doesn't mean I don't have a lot of wisdom, Jimmy. I don't know how old you are, but I've been through a lot in my life. I've had a lot of experiences that people
How
don't
old
have.
are you? How old are you?
Okay.
It doesn't matter. That's my entire point, is that it does not matter.
It does. Age does matter. And considering this, I mean, this kid seems like he does pretty well off financially. I usually judge people who have money. You don't have as much of incentive to grow as a person when you have too much money. That's why I'm happy I got into this late in the game, you know, but okay. And especially since you don't really finish developing till like 25. I think that if you're young and you didn't look at like the previous year that you were in and went, wow, I'm an idiot, then like you are not introspective enough, because that's pretty much my experience from like 20 to like 28. Okay. Was just doing that. I was like, wow, damn, I was horrible. You know, over and over again, you kind of just learn more and more.
And I'll tell you, I'm 24 years old, but I've done a lot of things and I've been in a lot of positions that most people haven't. And
go ahead,
that gives
Jimmy,
me experience.
Like what? I'm curious.
But okay, I'm sorry. Listen, I just want to, let's go through this video. So
I'm curious about the positions he's been in.
The worst person on the planet.
It's just weird if it's like a joke and you're trying to reference stuff. It's edited like you're just saying these things. You say he's dumb and he's the worst person in the world.
Worst person in the world.
Are you not you're not backing that up? You're saying we don't.
No. Ethan, first of all, I'm quoting you.
Okay.
Second of all,
so do you believe I'm the worst person in the world?
Hold on.
In this video, you say Ethan's the worst person in the world. There's no context about you making a joke.
Yes, well, okay, I don't like that. You saying age doesn't equal maturity is a silly goose thing. Age doesn't necessarily equal maturity, but generally speaking, somebody who's older is going to be a little bit more mature. Or at the very least, you will be more mature than yourself as you get older, or you should be. It does have a level of maturity in the world. There's a mathematic formula, and maturity is part of it when it comes to being more experienced.
Can I answer?
I just want to stay on the point. Yeah, of course, please.
Okay. In that video, I'm obviously being sarcastic. Okay, you're not the worst person on the planet. All right, you understand that? You're smart, right?
It's not. I don't think he's being sarcastic. I think he's being disproportionate, right? Like he's like, yeah, he's pretty bad. I don't know if I'd call it sarcasm, but okay.
I'm obviously being sarcastic. Just how I was being sarcastic when I said everyone in their 20s should have a Lambo. There's sarcasm. And it's actually a specific style of sarcasm called deadpanning.
Okay,
where it's designed to look like I'm almost being realistic.
You're doing deadpan humor.
Oh, deadpanning. I thought he said bedpanning, like you're shitting yourself in bed. Okay, sure.
So obviously,
this guy must have gone to the the same comedy school as Vince Vaughn, and Dennis. Wow, incredible stuff.
First person on the planet. Are you
just practicing his comedy?
No. Are you a person that's good? Are you a net positive? Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not, based on the content that you put out there.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I like
that might be true. That might be true. I mean, most of the well, I mean, I guess it depends. Maybe. I mean, yeah, some of the conversations that Ethan has are pretty shit. Like when he said that rich, famous men should never engage in casual sex, which just infantilizes women. There's a difference between you should obviously be aware of the power dynamic you have, but to say that men can't engage in casual sex if they have too much money or too much fame. Fame is saying that to women who want to consensually have sex with those men that they're too stupid to do so. So maybe you could argue as a net negative. You'd have to like leverage the entertainment value people get out of Ethan's stuff versus like the potential bad stuff he says about social issues. Nothing he really talks about is necessarily helpful. I'm not sitting here saying that mine is. I'm not like shitting on him. Like, you know what I mean? Like Grey's Anatomy doesn't really do very much either, but it's still entertaining, and that entertainment value can be very positive. I don't know if I call him a net negative, but you get my point. I'm not insulting Vince Vaughn. What are you talking about?
I like that. That's a good starting point. We'll come back to that. I'll keep going.
We all know this.
He's the worst person on the planet.
He wishes he was us. He does.
That's awesome. So this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's not you saying it, but you didn't challenge him. Do you think that I wish I was you or your buddy here?
Okay.
You can be honest.
No, I don't think so. I think that you probably are okay with who you are.
Yeah, he's got a lot of money.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Is.
So your buddy says, "I wish I was him." Do you think he really means that? Because you do a podcast. With
I don't
him, right?
know.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, he's actually my business partner. But yeah, I talked to him.
Partner. You guys kiss?
Okay.
I don't know. Do you wish you were us?
Absolutely, man. You guys got it all. I mean, everything that I don't have, right? Like everything I don't have.
So you do?
Yeah. So, for example, what is it that you guys have that you think I would wish to have?
Well, I don't believe this, but if you want to talk about this, we can talk about it. Is that what you want to do?
I'm curious, yeah, since you seem to be open to entertaining the idea. So I'm curious, what are the enviable traits of your life?
Do you want to talk about this, or can we get through the video? I mean, I could tell you this, but I feel like we're just we're ranting, like we're just going off.
Okay,
He's getting a little upset that Ethan's calling him on his shit. Let's be real. What's going on here?
Yeah, let's do that.
I would love to speak to him. I'd love to talk to him and go on his podcast. I would try to change his life.
Oh,
But I think I'd have a hard time. That'd be the final boss at the top of his battle. Some people are really.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm actually really excited to talk to you. Yeah, I'm really, really excited.
Okay. He's got his penis
Almost finally.
fire.
Go ahead, man. This is your opportunity to
So yeah,
change my life. And I'm in
That's-
desperate
that's
need
the
of
goal,
it, too.
man. That's the goal, man. So can I ask you this then? So now that we're done with the video, why you've defended obesity and you've bragged about being out of shape and being
Bro, it's so funny because like if I'm a little bit aware of Ethan now, so my understanding is Ethan's been like losing weight. He's been actively trying to get healthier. And people keep referencing this moment where he makes a joke about how like life is too short to diet and exercise. And obviously he's just being facetious there. What Ethan is doing in those videos is called deadpanning. It's actually a form of comedy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it before. It's actually called bedpanning. Yeah. So it's interesting how the people who claim to be the funniest people don't seem to understand humor very well. It's obviously a joke. And Ethan has been trying to lose weight. That's my understanding. He's actually lost like 30 pounds and he's trying to get healthier. So
overweight. Why do you do that? Why don't you think that it's appropriate to take care of yourself and have a healthy body?
Thank you for asking that, because I think it's interesting you started this conversation by accusing me and my wife of taking things out of context and how bad and how stupid that makes you look. It's funny that you say that, because it's pretty obvious if you go back to anything I said about it, is that I 100% respect people that exercise. I am a rational person. I understand that exercise is important. It's healthy. And I don't think that obesity is anything to be brag about. In fact, I'm always trying to lose weight. People know it's a big part of my personality is that I recently gained weight from taking antidepressants, and I'm trying to work it off and stuff. So, and also, I will say, as a comedian, I felt that to me it was pretty obviously a joke. Once again, I don't know if I would call it deadpan. I'll have to look up the exact genre of comedy. Maybe you guys could think about that, maybe to help you consume it. But the joke I was making is that if I spend X amount of time on the treadmill, right, will it make me live X amount of time more?
Well, probably would make you live longer, generally speaking, sure.
And in the segment, we crunched the numbers, and we figured out that working out does pay off. And in fact, there's people laughing in the clip behind that. So you started off by saying that people don't get the proper context. So now now that you've heard the full context, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, thank you for explaining it to me. That's a much better response. That's a much better stance on it.
I just feel like you shouldn't need somebody to explain that to you, because it was explicitly clear what was happening there. You know, so why the fuck did you need somebody to even explain that to you? I don't know. I really don't understand. It wasn't like that complicated. So I just find it's just interesting. You know, it's not like this the most intelligent joke that he's ever made in his entire life, and people still somehow didn't get it. It's a little sad, but hey, God bless, I guess. Yeah, God bless, sure.
I would
Hey,
always
what's going
agree
on?
with you.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you for explaining it to me. Yeah, it's good. I would say you should try very hard to exercise and have a great body. It makes you feel good.
Sure.
If you feel good, you're going to think good. You're going to perform better. You're
Sure,
going to be happier about
definitely
yourself.
true.
You're going to be proud of yourself. It's good for your mental health. It
True,
increases
true.
Right,
your
I know
lifespan.
that. No, I agree.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great.
Hey, guys. If you want to get into working out, I always recommend Starting Strength by Mark Ripto and Wendler 531 are great resources to start with when it comes to figuring out how to, well, at least for weight training. That's really excellent resources to start with, especially 5x5 strong lifts. That's probably, I'd recommend that more for beginners because it's better for learning how to properly execute movements. So that's my advice. It's always my advice. I recommend going that path. So there you go.
Great. Are you still on antidepressants?
Yes, I am.
So you're currently, would you describe yourself as a depressed person? Are you currently depressed?
Well, probably
No,
not.
I'm not currently
He's on antidepressants, so he's probably not
Why are you
depressed.
taking?
Well,
Why are you taking depressants?
yeah, because
There's no way that you'd ask that question without, like, you have to be kind of silly to that's a silly question to ask. Are you depressed? No. You're on antidepressants though. Yeah. Why? Because that makes him not depressed. Obviously, I don't think that, like, ideally you should try not to go on to medications to be better, to, like, whether it's weight loss medications, weight loss surgeries, or anything else. But sometimes you just get to a point where you need it. And the only people that can determine what you need is you and your doctor and, like, your wife and stuff. Very simple stuff. Some people are going to need antidepressants. That's okay. You shouldn't jump to them instantly, you know, and you should be a little wary, especially if your doctor sometimes, because some doctors will overprescribe medication. But, you know, like, it's not a bad idea. And sometimes it's just about, like, first I talk about how, like, I'm diabetic, and me going on to my insulin and my metformin has helped me have more energy to go to the gym, because your energy levels go down when you have, like, your blood sugar is horrible. So being able to get on those medications has helped me get to the gym, and then hopefully I can wean myself off those medications. Same thing here with depression, just a little bit different. There you go.
because yeah, I was depressed. I was having a hard time a few years ago, and I decided to try Lexapro, and it's really helped me a lot. It's actually I recommend people that are feeling depressed that they should actually I think people should try it. In fact,
We'll talk to your
recommend
doctor, I'd say, but I get what he's saying.
So I would disagree. I would say that there's a lot of things you could try before taking medication, synthetic medication,
Sure.
to cure this, because depression can come from a lot of things. And if you sit down and think about it, it's probably going to be different for every single person.
Yeah,
but
true.
I was depressed at one point. My mom was depressed. We were depressed for different reasons. My mom took antidepressants. I didn't. I was depressed because I didn't like the way that I looked when I was a kid. And instead of taking medication, I just tried really hard to get really,
So
really
when you
healthy.
say that you have
And then-
the wisdom,
Well, hold on.
hold on. This
one
is
second.
important. You acknowledge that you've been depressed, but you also talk about you have the wisdom of a 24-year-old. Do you think that there's other reasons that people could be depressed other than kind of adolescence anxiety about the way that they look, which is pretty common? Let's be real. I think everybody's insecure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's several reasons why people could be depressed.
Yeah, you could have, like, a chemical imbalance. It could be the foods that you're eating. There's, like, a whole myriad of things that could be making you depressed, of course.
I'm not going to
several.
try to name them off to you, but I think that there's plenty of reasons people could be depressed. But either way, depression will come from you're not in a situation that you like. You're not where you like to be, whether that's done to you
Could.
outside of you or whether you've done it to yourself. It's just you're not happy with your situation or where you're at in life. And a lot of the times you can
could,
personally make a change,
sure.
or you can react differently to make that situation better. And doing that, like actually reacting, like for me to go to the gym and come up with a diet plan and learn and work on getting a six-pack is a lot harder than popping a pill every
Popping
morning.
pills is the easy way out.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
what's
you understand that.
interesting?
So it's like everyone's going to always opt for, or not everyone, but they're most of the.
It's I have to say, it's one of the most immature perspectives to not understand that this, like, one of the biggest parts of the way that life works, and that is that at the end of the day, an individual is probably going to know the best for them than you are. That doesn't mean that, like, you don't know things and you can't have advice. But, like, if I look at a situation where somebody's going on some kind of a medication for depression, I would make the assumption that, like, they probably, hopefully, and maybe not always, but hopefully went through the proper protocols to see, like, a doctor and get mental health care, et cetera, to make sure that they actually, needed what they're going on. And so, like, you don't have to get actively involved in anything. I think there's a lot of young people, especially, well, at least in here, it's young men, who are, like, upset with, like, the way the world is operating. And a lot of it can be cured, absolutely, by, like, working out. I think everybody should be getting into some kind of fitness, whether it's weightlifting or just like running or jogging or whatever, or even just walking. You should work on like your mind, body, and spirit. But that doesn't mean that everybody who's clinically depressed can just get better by going to the gym. And they actually might, like, I think that they still would benefit from it, but that doesn't mean that their depression is going to go away. Just because it would benefit them doesn't necessarily mean their depression will just go away because they go to the gym. You know?
Time you're going to opt for the easiest route, but I don't believe that the easiest route is the good route. I think the harder route is the good route.
I actually think your opinion is super toxic and it's actually super basic. And you talk about wisdom.
Toxic.
I think no, and I'll explain to you why. Well, you're making a lot of assumptions about me again. I've been to a lot of therapy and I've tried lots of things to improve my situation. The pills was the last ditch effort to do something to help my situation. In fact, if you'll know, I had the pills next to my bed for months because I was so...
I wonder how much of Ethan's depression comes from his like online job. Because they're... I can imagine that getting constantly dumpstered all the time, whether it's deserved or not, because there are definitely times that it is deserved, has to weigh on you mentally, right? I know it has for me, I'm not gonna lie. So I wonder how much of his depression is what I like to call terminally online behavior syndrome. I wonder how much of it's from that.
Apprehensive to take it because of all...
Yeah, you can do CrossFit. You can do CrossFit. If you're a fucking loser, you can do CrossFit. It's better than jerking off every day.
Well, like you, because I felt that too, like that it's the... And people say it's the easy way out, people who kind of are in the Sigma grind set like you. It was actually the hardest decision I had to make in my mental health recovery was the decision to take the pill, right? And I think for a lot of people,
the birth control
the reality of taking antidepressants is not the easy way out. It's actually the hardest decision to make.
My mom went through it, and what you said's right. What you just said's right. She went through this for years.
Right.
She was bipolar. So
Okay. That's rough.
you said
man.
the truth. You spoke from your heart.
Thank you, Jimmy. I did speak from my heart.
I don't really know who Jimmy is. I'm assuming he's a reoccurring meme on the channel, but I like that. That was a very wholesome, genuine moment. So I respected that.
Jimmy almost cried.
How
I never heard
was
you
my
talk like
opinion
that.
toxic?
That's crazy.
Well, it's toxic because...
Yeah, deleting social media will help your mental health, by the way, guys. Keep that in mind. That's an objective fact that I decided. No, it is true though. It can really help you. That's like since I've deleted Twitter, and deleted Reddit, like on my phone, like I've substantially happier. So it's something that you should all consider doing.
I've heard this opinion a lot of your peers and people who share that opinion with you. And I think it's toxic because it's discouraging men specifically from seeking out valid and very helpful treatments for their problems.
Yeah, sure.
You think that going to the gym is going to resolve all your issues. And I think that's actually...
Whoa.
No,
you
I
talk
didn't
about,
say that. No, I didn't say that.
You say...
I said, look, if you don't like the way you look, get in the gym. Don't take an antidepressant pill. That is not a toxic
I could have told you
opinion
that.
I don't think that it matters whether you like the way you look or not. You should still get into the gym. Or, you know what? Fuck the gym. You should get into some kind of exercise. Go walking. It's healthy. It's good for your heart, and you can sightsee. There's anything is good. Like, do some kind of physical fitness that'll make you happy. Go dance. That's great for your body. Go dance. Do Zumba. Go for a walk. Weightlift. CrossFit. Blah. Do something like that. Skateboard. It really, like anything that's gonna get you moving, get your heart rate up, is a good thing to do. And if you weight train, you probably should also do cardio. I know it sucks, but you really should, because it's weight training doesn't necessarily help your heart health, so it's a good idea. Or you could be a weirdo and you could do this thing called CrossFit, which is cardio weight training. Which I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, but hey, some people are crazy. Some people are a little kooky. So.
And that is the correct thing. That is the correct thing to do.
Yeah, but
my
that's not that
my
interesting
cursor?
of a statement, is it? Because that's
It
pretty
doesn't
obvious.
have to be interesting. Yeah, oftentimes the correct thing is boring, and it's yeah, sure, it could be basic and
I
boring.
also
but
don't think that's
correct.
clinical depression. You have 24 years of wisdom, so I don't want to
Okay.
patronize you. But if you're able to go to the gym and go through the depression and kind of shake off the depression, I don't think that is clinical depression.
That's not depression.
Yeah,
The appearance.
Yeah, I mean, who are you to say why I felt depressed? I had a very depressive feeling.
Well, there is
because I
a
didn't like
clinical
this part about myself.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
a
well,
clinical,
there's a difference. There is a bit of a difference between feeling depressed and like having clinical depression, right? And we understand this.
Well,
I mean,
he doesn't.
It's an
clearly,
opinion.
right?
No, it's not.
You guys can't. You're not. You have no authority to say what's okay to cause my depression or what isn't. I mean, I don't know why you're depressed, but I'm not going to sit here and say, well, that's not a fair reason to be depressed.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying that there's a difference between clinical depression and non-clinical depression. That's not that difficult of a concept to understand, but okay.
Are you depressed? Why were you depressed?
no. I'm not saying it's not a fair reason. I'm saying that there is a clinical definition of what clinical depression is, right? And chances are, if you're young and you go to the gym and shake it off, you probably don't have clinical depression. And can I ask you, were you ever diagnosed with depression?
Yeah, I think I went to when I went.
We just found our 14-year-old TikTok girl, guys. Okay, it shouldn't take you that. How long did he have to think about that? No, you were never diagnosed with depression. You're the same people on TikTok who say they have ADHD when they really don't. That's what's happening here. What are you talking? Oh, you're. Let me think about that. No. The answer is no. Why lie? Such a weirdo.
Yeah, I think I went to when
I
I
think
got
so.
therapy for a period of time, and I went to a psychiatrist as well, and
Okay.
they said I just have some similar symptoms, like I'm over there, but
even if that's true, which I kind of doubt, having similar symptoms doesn't make you depressed, right? I had some similar symptoms. You could look up anything right now and you'll have symptoms for it, guys. This is how it works. Like you'll all have ADHD. Oh, difficulty focusing, constantly need to be stimulated. You all have autism. If you have similar, you have to meet a threshold of a number of symptoms and an intensity of symptoms. We literally have our little TikTok girl here. Okay, sorry to the girls. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to women, but
you're over.
I didn't take any medication.
Right.
Any medication for it. I worked my way out of it.
Yeah.
And this is also so you understand.
Can I say something? You say you worked your way out of it. It implies that people who have clinical depression are not doing everything that they can to get rid of it before they take the medicine. There's this implicit thing that you and your peers say is that people who have depression are weak, and that if they taking the medicine, that's a sign of weakness. Right?
No, not at all.
Medicine is a cop out. It's the easy way out.
No, not at all. I'm not saying people that have depression are weak. I would argue that most people feel depressed at some point in their life.
Yeah, that's what I would feel.
Well,
most people I know.
That's not an argument. That's a known fact. People go through depressive periods. It's absolutely normal.
Right. So everyone has been there, and it's not
I would argue
for you to be depressed. Everyone has been depressed.
No, that's not
maybe
what I'm
in
saying.
that moment. That's maybe in that moment you're being a little bit weak in that moment.
Taking
Maybe
the
not, I don't
medicine
know,
is the weakness that you're implying.
I'm saying that there's a lot that should be done before you take medicine, and I'm also saying that even though you're not, I'm saying that is going to be hard. Like whatever that you have to do before you take medicine, whether it be go to the gym or work and mend a relationship, it's going to be extremely difficult, and people are going to give up far too soon before it fixes itself and they can pull themselves out of that feeling, out of that state. Okay, so taking a pill, yes, you said you could think about taking it for months and it can be on your mind. But for you to go into the gym or for you to fix something in your life, that could take way longer than months, and it could be way harder than thinking about taking a pill.
Do you think?
And people oftentimes give up.
You and your contemporaries talk often about going to the gym. It's very important to you guys, and it seems almost like. And I Bradley Martin's a friend of mine, and I don't mean to.
By the way, my kids are in the gym all the time, so
it's good.
Kids his age, they're all. Kudos to him. My sons want to be built. They lift weights.
Well, my real question is what do you recommend people to do once they get in the gym? Because I notice a lot of these red pillars say they go to the gym, but they don't really tell you what to do, and oftentimes they have no idea how the gym works, or they don't really understand how routines work particularly well. But they pretend and we've all been there when we all first start going to the gym. You love it. I remember being that kid back in the day too, and you think you know everything. But what's your advice for getting into the gym? What do you do once you're there? What's your advice for that? Because I seldom see that type of advice, and I always give it Wendler 531, blah blah blah. You guys are tired of me saying it, but what's your advice specifically what to do when you get there?
They want to look good for the girls. It makes them
good.
feel good.
The gym is
a good thing.
Girls.
My kids do it.
There's this weird emphasis that the gym can fix all your problems, and I find that odd.
No, not at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying this will fix one of the problems. And
depression.
Absolutely, all men should go to the gym. Men should be.
Everybody should go
what they look like. Men should be strong. That's their job. You have to protect your girlfriend, your wife. You have to protect your kids. So it's your job as a man to be physically strong to protect those people that rely on you.
Okay,
for sure.
So your job as a man is to be strong to protect them from physical violence if you need to.
One of the many jobs. Yeah. Yes, one of the many jobs you have. One of the many responsibilities of being a man.
Right.
I think it's a good thing for you to be able to protect yourself and your spouse. That's damn, I keep fucking up. I think it's a good thing to be able to protect yourself, your wife, your kids, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't think that you have to train to lift heavy to do that. Which is the implication. Maybe I'm misinterpreting it. I would say get a gun more than I would say anything else. not to be that guy. But I think it's a lot more, because if a guy breaks in the house with a knife, I don't think your boxing lessons necessarily matter, because you shouldn't have to potentially sustain any injury. I'd say you're better off getting a gun or something. I understand where he's coming from. But, again, do something for fitness because it's good for your mental health. But, also that as well. Maybe get a security system. Personally, I'd call the police before confronting somebody. If I had to, I would. Obviously in the moment, but like I'm not trying to get into a fight here. You know what I mean? I would if I had to. Obviously, I would protect my wife if I have to. Of course. Just mess up again? Nope, I got it. But yeah, sure.
And in the modern
baseball
world,
bat. Yeah, we have my wife has made us buy a baseball bat so that we could fight off the bad guys. Okay, guys, don't worry, we're okay.
Understand that because as we all know, there's constantly bandits and vigilantes and barbarians coming at us with spiked maces and shit.
Yeah, true.
Ethan, if somebody were to break into your house and
he has a gun,
you are not protected from it, and let's say you fight up against this dude, and this dude has he's stronger than you, and he has more training of combat experience than you, he's going to kill you. He's going to win.
Yeah,
he's going to do whatever he wants to do to your wife and your kids and break your house. And that's just it's a hypothetical situation.
I have a gun because only a fool would try to engage them in combat.
And you don't have a gun, Ethan?
Yeah, I have a shotgun for home defense. It'd be foolish.
What if you can't load your gun in time? What if you can't get to your gun in time? What if you...
I don't know. What if you went to the gym and you had delayed onset muscle soreness and you couldn't move fast enough because you just squatted, so the guy was able to outpace you and beat the shit out of you? We're at a point of like unrealistic standards. You should absolutely be able to defend your house and home. I think men should, of course, be able to defend, but also women should too. But I mean, you have a gun. Like, what ifs? Like, we're at a point where we're at unrealistic what ifs. Like, yes, what if a giant marshmallow like fell from the sky and landed on the earth? Of course, we're not all going to be prepared for that. But at the end of the day, he's like, yeah, I protect my family. I have a gun. Oh not just. Like, enough. I think it's we're being a little bit of a silly goose at this point. Like, relax a little bit. You're being a little bit of a suspicious character from among us.
He has a gun.
Well, I would assume he would have a gun.
Hypotheticals.
Yeah, if someone broke in the house, I assume they had a weapon.
Right, you're just not as prepared to deal with any situation possible, and that's just something that I don't feel good about. Like, I would rather be more prepared and better safe than sorry.
That's great.
For sure. And that competence also would make me feel more confident. I wouldn't like have more anxiety. I wouldn't have more worry in my bed at night if somebody were to break in, or if I heard a sound outside.
Let me ask you
I would feel better about myself.
Can a six-pack stop bullets?
I mean, if you work it out hard enough, maybe. I don't know.
Right. Right. Because it just seems like, I mean, being strong looks cool, and some women like it.
Yeah. Well, I don't just work out either, Ethan. I also do, like, I train Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. I do combat sports.
Hell yeah,
I go to the gym. I do cardio. I do all sorts of stuff. I do a lot of. I go rock climbing. I play tennis.
Yeah, that sounds super fun and cool. That sounds super fun and cool.
It is. It's better than making fun of people on the internet all day.
Ooh, that was below the belt. That was below the belt. That last comment, below the belt.
No, it's okay. We're here to talk everything out. Well, you're talking about my professional.
Ethan, you should come with me. You should come with me, Ethan. We can go together.
He can show you,
it's really fun.
The world. You need to learn.
We can fight. We can fight. It would inspire you.
We can
be like,
fight.
Fun. Let's do it more.
So let me ask you this: some men are smaller in stature. Are they just doomed to be a pathetic partner because they can't protect their family? What's your thoughts on small-statured, small-muscled people who have, you know what I mean?
The little guy.
Little guy.
No. Yeah. My business partner is average or a little bit below average height, and I have some friends.
Wow, what a loser.
Sorry, I didn't think he was going to say that. Average or a little below average. That's how you know he's below average. If somebody says, I'm average, like I have an average size penis, guys. That's how you know you're compensating. Okay.
And they should do, hold on. And they should do just that. They should also prepare and train themselves. When I was in jiu-jitsu, there was plenty of people that were smaller than me. When I started out, that had more experience than me, that would kill me.
I want to ask you.
Honestly, my only issue is that like jiu-jitsu sounds awfully anti-Semitic. I think this guy's trying to be anti-Semitic against Ethan here, to be honest with you. Jiu-jitsu? Come on, relax, brother.
Very specific question, though. Protecting the family is part of a man's job. So if you take a really short guy, like 5 foot, he's going to be better at that job, or you're going to be way better at that job than him, just on paper.
So
right?
short people shouldn't be able to get married, basically.
When it comes to protecting the family, you got that on the little guy.
I don't think I understand what your point is.
No, the point is that you as a man have a job to protect the family. Some people are better at protecting the family because they're stronger and bigger, and some people are worse at protecting the family because they're littler or fatter or less muscular. So if a woman had to, no, hold on. Let me answer. I want to get the logic out of you. If
I want to answer.
Okay, go ahead. So are you better at protecting your family than a 5-foot dude?
No, I think, like I just said, it depends on your level of competence. It depends on how well trained you are.
So you think
like
a 5-foot dude's gonna Muay Thai a fucking
Hold on. Okay, look, if you interrupt me all the time, you're never gonna understand what I'm trying to say. You're asking me a question, I'm trying to explain it to you.
I gotta sift for, no, you're right. They're gonna sift for gold, dude. Go ahead.
It depends on your level of training. If there is a 5-foot guy that came into my house and he is the most badass military dude that's been training for years.
Listen, just the realistically speaking, I think the point that Ethan's trying to get at is that their biological advantages are real, and a tall guy is generally going to be better at anything with the same level of effort put into it than a short guy. That's pretty much it. Not like a super complicated thing. And I think the point that he's trying to get down to is that if you have an ideology that focuses too heavily around the job of a man to like be this big protector, then that means that short men shouldn't be able to get dates because they're never going to be able to protect the same intensity or degree or effectiveness as a non-tall person. And that's just that just basically says that short people aren't like enough of a man to be able to deserve love, attention, or affection. And that's a silly thing. I think it's really good to work on like your physical health because it's good for your mental health. It's profoundly good for your mental health, and it gives you something to put energy and effort into that's going to have like really good lasting results. And it'll set up like your future generations that you have to also, value fitness in some capacity. And I do think that it's good for a man to be able to protect his, house and home and loved ones. But I also think that there's more than one type of protecting. I don't think that the only way to protect people is to be super duper strong and have to do it that way. You could purchase a firearm. You can purchase solid security systems in your house. You can live in better areas. Like you put time and energy and effort into living in a better area that's safer to live into. There's a lot of different things that you could do. So.
He will probably win, right? I don't have as much training.
You think there's a 5-foot guy who's a fucking Navy SEAL?
Probably, absolutely. Yeah. I think it depends on your level of competence. And like I just said, when I was doing jiu-jitsu, there are people that were smaller than me that would win against me on a ground fight because they're way more trained in jiu-jitsu. And same goes for Muay Thai. There could be a guy that's a little bit shorter than me or has like a smaller reach than me, and he could beat me in Muay Thai if he's been training his entire life because he has a better strategy than I do. Now, if you were to take somebody that's smaller and me, and we have the same exact level of training, then odds are I would probably win because I'm just bigger and I have more strength. Yes, obviously, that's not a surprise. But I'm not saying that if you're little, you have no chance at all. If you're little, you just have, I would say, you have extra work to do. You have more work to do.
Extra work, baby.
Why? How tall are you, Ethan? I mean, you're pretty tall, aren't you?
I'm like 5'11", but it doesn't matter really because I have a gun.
You have a gun. Yeah, you have a gun. So you're fine.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, probably.
But exercising's cool. Hey,
to be honest with you, the gun is probably going to protect you better than working out. But.
So let's move on to something else. This tweet we talked about on the show, you said, you should be able to see it on your computer. Men literally want one thing, large mountain-style home in the forest by a lake, pleasant wife with no attitude, 3 to 5 kids.
Men literally want, large mountain-style home in the forest by a lake. This is all things men want. I don't know about that. Personally, even when I become a millionaire, guys, manifest into it. I'm going to want a pretty smaller, reserved home. My wife will probably want something bigger. That's a personal preference. A pleasant wife with no attitude. I honestly disagree. And that's a pretty loaded thing to say because I know that that's not what they mean. Manosphere people don't mean a pleasant wife with no attitude. What they mean is a person who won't push back. I don't respect people who don't push back, not to be rude. I value strength. I have a wife who pushes back against what I have to say. And if I didn't have a wife that pushed back against what I have to say, I would roll over her. I'm a pretty strong person with a pretty strong personality, and I can't be with somebody that's a weak person with a weak personality. My wife brings out the best in me because she holds her own. It's fine if you want a wife that doesn't give you an attitude or anything, but I personally think that you can't be a strong man if the woman you want is a weak woman. Personally, not even trying to be rude. That might be a little bit too rude. I'm sorry about that. I like that my wife has an attitude. That's why I married her. Like she gives me shit constantly, and I give her shit constantly. That's our ebb and flow of our relationship, and we can both be difficult to be with. My point is that you shouldn't be looking for somebody that's like always agreeable to you. You should always value and respect pushback a little bit. Different ranges for different people. 3 to 5 children. My wife wants 3 to 5 children. I personally just want a couple. I don't really care. It's her choice. I don't give a shit. I don't know that men really want a lot of kids. Most of these guys don't seem to want kids in the manosphere, at least. Most of them seem to just want to be able to fuck a bunch of young girls that just turned 18, and they're like 40, so gross. But whatever, and a dynamic gym inside an RV garage. Maybe. Personally, I like leaving and going to the gym place. If I had a really big house, maybe I would. There's something about going to the gym and being like forced to go into a place that's different. I have a home gym downstairs in my house. And like I can't really motivate myself to go. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's hard to motivate myself to go into the gym. However, like when you go to a gym, or it's hard to motivate myself to work out. But like when I go to the gym, I don't have to motivate myself to work out. I just have to motivate myself to go to the gym. Does that make sense? And then once I'm there, it's like, well, let's go. And I'm also in like the atmosphere. It's the same thing where if you're struggling to, let's say, do your homework on your computer, that might be because you play video games on your computer and you've associated that space with that thing. So that's just me. That's just me personally. But okay, these are personal preferences. But maybe this is just deadpan humor, guys. I don't really understand it because I'm stupid.
I don't like that one.
Well, specifically, what is a pleasant wife with no attitude?
Can you give me another record? Thank you.
What?
What's a pleasant?
Right, you guys, for 5 minutes, you were like, thank you. He literally said,
what?
Men want one thing, and he listed off 5 things. And in that moment, I realized that, like, anytime you were looking into me, anytime that you got into something that was actually interesting, you're like, okay, parents grew up poor, came from a communist country, mom grew up uneducated. Somehow this kid's a millionaire. Boring. Okay.
What do I need to? I'm not here to fucking suck your dick. I don't care.
In sales for his clients. He made a bunch of money on the internet. Boring. And then I go to this, and you guys talk about.
Well, I'm here to talk about interesting stuff. I'm not here to have.
You're here to talk shit. You're here to talk shit.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm here. I want to.
This kid doesn't seem to like to be pressed on stuff. Why not bring these things up yourself? He's kind of just having like a temper tantrum. I mean, if you have a lot to say, like that's good. Like bring it up. What else?
Hey,
what else do you have to say? Yeah, I'm like say it yourself. It's a little bizarre.
I think what's interesting is that we talk about the places where we conflict. I think it's great that you're an immigrant and you came to America and succeeded. It's like, oh, okay, great. What do you want me to do? Suck your dick?
Ethan, no. Is it not more interesting that my parents came here to escape communism? They could barely speak the language, and I lifted my family out of poverty and turned us into multimillionaires. Is that not more interesting than me saying men want one thing? And
yes, but it's uncontroversial. Why would I want to discuss that? Tell me, what is a pleasant wife with no attitude?
Sebastian, can I ask
you know what an interesting conversation is? Do you think an interesting conversation entails someone just sucking your dick and doing a puff piece? I think that is what you think it is based on your podcast.
No, not at all. Not at all. I've done interesting stuff, and we could have interesting conversations.
Tell me, you wrote it. What is a pleasant wife with no attitude?
I'm just saying, Ethan, that there is a lot of interesting conversations that don't have to be controversial. But you don't know that because your entire brand is based on controversy.
No. I'm having an interesting conversation. What's his job? Based on our differences of opinion.
Right. What's his job?
So do you have a difference in opinion? You don't want a pleasant wife?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want a wife with attitude?
What does attitude mean?
Yeah, I do.
A wife that nags, a wife that talks back to you, a wife that remarks at you and says sly comments. Do you want that in your house?
Right.
The last thing is different. There's a difference between somebody giving you pushback and being like strong-willed versus somebody who tries to break you down. There's nothing wrong with somebody who talks back a little bit when you're overstepping your bounds, but like no, of course you don't want somebody that just breaks you down and constantly like criticizes you for whatever reason. Of course, I've been there too. Like that's not good. But like a strong woman doesn't do that. Strong women don't break men down. Those are what's called a weak woman. Just want you guys to understand that. It's not the same thing. You've categorized all these things into one. It's a little bizarre.
Well, do you think that when a woman quote unquote nags, that's just like an inherent quality of women? Because you act like it's kind of right. Because you act like there would never be a reason for a woman to bother you about anything. Like your significant other would never have a legitimate reason to, quote, nag you.
I would never want my wife to call me weird names or like make remarks towards me. Yeah, like I would never want her to say that I'm stupid or I don't look good or
nobody. That's not nagging. That's just being a fucking bitch. That's not nagging. Nag is when my wife is like, hey, can you do the dishes? And I just don't do it. And then she's like, come on, I asked you to do this. And I'm like, all right. You know, that's nagging. So
of course. Well, that's just me.
If I ask her to do something, I wouldn't want her to have an attitude with me and I would want her to act and speak to me as if we're on the same team, the same way that I would do that for her.
Yeah, but that's obvious.
That's just normal. I feel like I wonder if this is something that the manosphere or some people in the manosphere do is where they'll promote a non-controversial opinion. Some people do this. They'll promote a non-controversial opinion sometimes and try to frame it as one. Or if he's just downplaying his shit. He's 24, so
you're saying I don't want her to call me ugly. I mean, that's just mean. That's just like a toxic relationship. That's nothing to do with pleasant wife with no attitude. Sometimes an attitude is warranted, right? Like you got a little attitude with me today. And that's cool, right? Because that's warranted because it's a little bit contentious, our conversation. So sometimes an attitude is justified, right?
I don't know. It depends on the scenario.
Yes.
Okay. So it depends on.
That's why he said sometimes an attitude is justified. So you're just, yeah, you would just say yes, you agree.
Scenario. So is there ever a scenario that you would have with your significant other that would warrant her to have an attitude with you?
I mean, yeah, I imagine if I like did something really stupid, like if I don't know, I would never do this because I'm not a cheater, but I could imagine if I cheated, she'd have an attitude, which is
that's mildly putting it mildly, yeah.
But,
yeah, surprising that someone from the manosphere says that. But like this is the thing: is most of your issues in a relationship aren't going to come from cheating. It's going to come from little stuff. A lot of times, like chores and shit like that, like not doing simple things around the house and building up resentment and frustration with each other. So, like, what if they ask you to do? I'm just saying.
Dude.
I would never do that because that is not the person that I am. But yeah, I just want a pleasant wife with no attitude. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would say that most women would want a pleasant husband that has ambition and has goals, and I think that's fine.
Well, yeah. And
I like having a wife with ambition and goals too. Though it's also some men like that. Okay.
And my woman too. I want a smart woman who has ambitions and goals too. But we're all different.
You agree with me? You agree with me on one thing?
Well, no, I think that people want partners that they respect.
Yeah.
So you agree with me, but you just don't like my verbiage.
No, I think your verbiage of no attitude implies that women are docile creatures there to be subservient and just obey and to they're just there to make your home, right?
Well, that's just an assumption. But it's
in the language.
I love
it's a reasonable assumption to make. That's the language that you kind of used. It's a little silly that you by your own logic, being generous, you purported yourself, and then you're crying that people got the wrong intention. But like, you have to be responsible. At what point are you going to be responsible for your own dumb words, right? That's the real question here.
Women are the
I didn't say you don't love women, bro.
Planet. I know,
but they have a role to play. They have a role, right?
No, they're the most. Yeah, well, women and men have a role to play, of course.
Right, but they have a specific role. What is the woman's role?
It's not subservient. They don't have to be subservient to the man. But
I personally like. I like the roles from Texas Roadhouse. I'm just saying.
They complement the man, and a man complements a woman. They make a great team together.
Okay, you're not saying anything. What is the woman's role?
To eat poop.
What do you mean? The woman's role in a household? Can you
in a relationship, in a household, yeah.
Oh, let's see.
I find it interesting that you're being so thoughtful about it now, because I've seen millions of videos of you spitting this shit off. Like, this is what a woman needs to do. They need to be at home. They need to support the man.
I'm always thoughtful. No. I'm always thoughtful. And those videos,
but it seems like something you would know.
The same thing.
Okay, go ahead. What's the woman's role?
Highly edited. Those videos are highly edited.
But you're putting them on your TikTok, bro.
You have them edited
yourself.
It's
your fucking voice. It's
like
your
the
team.
Tate.
You pay people to.
It's like the Tate defense. Like, it's people. It's like, well, everything that's on the internet is out of context. But most of like the sexist shit from Tate on the internet is from him and his followers who think that that's awesome and based. And so now he's trying to claim that, like, something, like, magically claim that it's not his fault. It seems like they just set up these intricate organizations, or whatever you want to say, or they just set all the situation up. They get all these people to get together and make clips for them, and then they go, well, I didn't technically make them, so that they can push off of, they can just not have accountability for themselves. It kind of feels like maybe some of this shit is just having a male victim complex. And not having accountability, which is something that a lot of people in the manosphere talk about, how women don't take enough accountability in anymore, or something like that. And yet it's full of men not taking accountability for their actions right now. Like, you made those clips for yourself. You hired people to do that. That's what you stated out of your mouth. So own that,
Put it on the internet to make you look cool to other dudes. That's why it's there.
Let me answer your question.
Please.
And let me just think about it so I give you a good answer.
You said women prefer to submit. Why is that funny?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
I think a girl's job.
I don't think that women prefer to submit. That's just such loaded, dumb language. I think that women tend to prefer men that make the majority of the decisions, or at least some decisions. Like, for instance, I think it's normal for women to I think it's normal for women to enjoy guys who will make the decisions on infrastructure. We'll say, things about paying taxes, paying bills, when it comes to housework, who to hire, when it comes to car, who will ultimately buy the car. They might pick the car out, but where you get it, stuff like that. Whereas I think that women like to make the decisions on like a lot of stuff in the household when it comes to like decorating and shit. That's not all women, but to say that's submissiveness, I think goes a little bit too far. I think it goes like a little bit too far because it's not a submissive thing. It's just kind of allocation of roles. I don't know. When I hear the word submissive, it makes me feel like, especially from the manosphere, that they want a woman is somebody who they just want somebody to make every decision for them. And they don't want to have like any real agency over themselves. And that's just a silly goosery. That's pretty much it. But
Man bites dog who bit a man super chatted $1.99. What's your favorite movie?
I don't really have favorites. I don't know. I'll get back to you.
I think a girl's job is to display a lot of love and a lot of. Hold on, let me get focused.
Men should do this as well. But, okay.
I think a girl's job is to be the affectionate one, to be extremely affectionate, and to be very loving.
You sound
and very
insecure.
patient and very understanding.
Why shouldn't men do the same for women? It might manifest itself in a different way. That could be true for sure. But why is it? Why would it? Why should that? Why shouldn't men do the same thing? Okay.
And for their children and their husbands.
Okay.
And to make the children feel loved and heard. I think that's a woman's job. I think it's.
Why shouldn't men do the same thing? Hold on. Let's go through all the things again really quick.
And understanding, to be extremely affectionate. I think a girl's job is to be the affectionate one, to be.
Okay. Then he says
extremely affectionate.
Extremely. Okay. So affection. Let's just go through this painstakingly. A gentle feeling of fondness or liking. Okay. I just feel like affection is just showing that you love somebody. I think both men and women should do that. That's it. They might manifest in a different way, but it's both of your job. The problem is that men used to only have to bring a job to the table, and now you got to do a little bit more. Men should be doing this too. What else do we got?
To be very loving,
you sound
very
insecure.
patient and very understanding.
I think that men should be loving and understanding as well.
For their children and their husbands, and to make the children feel loved and heard. I think that's a woman's job.
I think men should be doing that too. Like men should be you should make your child feel loved and heard. No,
I think it's her job to. Women have this kind of love for their children that nobody else in the world will understand.
I love my.
That might be true. There might be, generally speaking, a love for children that women have that men don't. Like a more maternal feeling. I think that men have a similar feeling. But we don't really have to be hyper specific about it or really have this robust debate about it. But men and women should both love their children. To the best of their ability. Okay.
And will never understand.
No,
it.
See, that's a little crazy to me.
I'm sure you do, but I think that
you think my wife loves my kids more than me, or differently.
No, I never said that. No, I said that they're different. I think.
Right, it could be different, but what this guy's like, everything that he just applied to what women should be doing, men should be doing too. So like, this is silly.
Father and a mother will love their children differently, not more than the other, but just in different ways.
Maybe.
Sure. I
father loves.
That's crazy.
Okay, that's fine. And a father's going to want to protect his kids, and he's going to want to provide an environment where his family can feel safe.
But
a mother will do the same thing. Like, I think a mother should die for their kids, right? Like, generally speaking, the way that I would say my relationship would be is that, like, I should be dying for my wife and my children, and my wife should die for my children, right? My wife will also die for me because she's a fucking psychopath, but that's besides the point. The point is that, like, women are very fierce in protecting their children. These standards are bizarre. Like, I believe in a little bit more traditional a little bit, not really that much more traditional. Or like, I'm not super traditional. Like, I help around the house. My wife tends to cook and clean and and shop and whatnot. But I will help if she needs me to, and I tend to do like other infrastructure stuff. But that doesn't mean everybody has to do that. Like, men and women should be providing a similar role to the family. That might be a little different depending on what it is. And there's nothing wrong with like a woman being the worker and the guy staying home. Like, who gives a shit as long as you're taking care of your fucking house? It's not that complicated.
Yeah, but
and he's also going to want to pass
being
down
muscular.
lessons,
Like, that's not really an active role in their life.
Pass down lessons.
Pass down lessons.
Wisdom.
Women should do this too.
To his children.
Was this a fucking like medieval times?
No, this is just nature.
We're
passing
down wisdom.
The only problem is that like that I have with Ethan here, and like it's not like he's a fundamentally bad person, but it would have been better to let him finish, and then go through these points one by one. And when he says like pass down wisdom, be like, okay, why shouldn't a wife pass down wisdom? And then he'll probably even respond with like, oh, well, I think they should. It's like, okay, so then why do you have like such drastically different roles rather than being like, this is ridiculous, this is medieval, this is that. And again, like he's not like a bad person or anything for it. I'm not like shitting on him for it. I'm just saying I think that could be more effective, generally speaking.
What are we doing? Sitting around a campfire singing songs and shit? I feel like you're.
Sounds nice.
You're
All right,
you're
Ethan.
almost 40 years old.
I'm
You're almost
37.
40 years old.
Damn.
These things that you're saying, like you're just snapping back at me. Nothing you're saying, it's not like you're not disproving me in any way. You're
He's
just
kind of
saying
right
whatever
about
comes to
that.
mind. You're being
Challenge
very
your
emotional.
opinions.
You're being very but we're not even having a conversation. I'm just talking and you're just like spitballing off everything that I say.
Well,
like
that's
trying
kind
to
of
correct
true.
you like a little kid. It's just very childish.
He's kind of right.
You're going
He's a
off-
little bit right. Obviously, I'm on Ethan's side more here, but he's a little bit right. This kid is kind of right. He's kind of just dumpstering. He's not really listening and then responding. He's like, that's preposterous. That's preposterous. That's preposterous. He's not really listening to what's going on. That's not really helping him in the conversation. No, of course. So
Off into places I know I'm not going to, that are not a good topic. Because you're going to go on and explain things that are pretty obvious and uncontroversial. Like, you go, I just want women to be like nice to me. I mean, you said women prefer.
That's literally what I said.
Yeah.
I want women to be pleasant.
Women prefer.
And I want women to, you took that however you took it. I said I want women to be pleasant with no attitude. That means if I don't want you to do something because it makes me feel
big
whatever
fat
uncomfortable,
titties.
then please don't like make it a huge deal. That's
big
I think
fat
you're
tits.
okay. What? So you think women prefer to submit? This is something you've said.
okay. So we're gonna ignore everything.
Well, what do you
We're just
want?
gonna
Do you
move
want to
on.
go have a specific
I
conversation?
want you to stop acting. I want you to stop acting like a child. I want you to let me speak, and then we can discuss.
This kid's getting very triggered, but like some of what he's saying is kind of correct. Like you should listen a little more and then like respond to the individual points. This whole thing is spiraling.
Women prefer to submit. Is that correct?
I think women are happier when they feel like their husbands can properly lead them or their mans. I think women are happier when they know that the person that they're with is going to make the right decision and they don't have to worry about it. And
I agree with that. Generally speaking, I don't think you have to want that if you're a woman in a relationship, but that's not submission to me. Submission is doing every single thing that your husband tells you to do in an unquestionable manner. There's a difference between a woman, wanting somebody to take charge versus completely submitting. The action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will of the authority of another person. In a family dynamic, we'll say like a husband and wife. You know, you could have two dudes, two girls, two theys, whatever. But let's say a dude and a girl, right? A guy and a girl. You are an equal relationship that provides different things to the relationship with equal value, or that's how your relationship should operate. If that's not how it's operating, you need to find somebody else. So the decisions I make for my wife do not make me better, and they do not make her submissive, but that's what she wants. She wants me to have more control over certain things in our relationship. That doesn't make her submissive. If I just decided like, okay, like we're going to do this right now, like she'll be like, fuck off if she doesn't want to do it, right? There's a difference between submissiveness and like wanting somebody that might be a leader in more capacity. Those are two different things. And if you have somebody too submissive that won't stand up for yourself, you're going to roll over them and you're going to end up violating them without you even knowing, which is something that would terrify. I would never want to be with a weak person, you know? So, little critical thought. That's how I would engage with the answer back to that.
And I would say that's a form of submission in a way, yes.
What is your
And
data
I would
on that?
agree. Just what I've seen in myself
In your
and
long
in my
24
life.
years.
Myself?
Yes.
So stupid.
How many long-term relationships have you been in?
I've been in a few long-term relationships.
A few?
I'm not going to
How
tell
long
you
have they
the
lasted?
number.
Because
I'm gonna keep that
you've
private.
only been legally allowed to even have sex for 6 years. So
Wow.
Well, in my culture,
Two 16-year-olds can have sex with each other, but Siri. Anyway, he's obviously young and never been in like a real long-term relationship. So, but you know,
we don't necessarily have sex. I don't know. I'm Christian and Romanian, so like we
That's
don't just date and then hook up on the first night. That's not how it works.
Okay. So in your experience, women like to be
Most women would agree with that. Women would agree with that.
Do you talk to a lot of women?
they wouldn't.
When I'm single, yeah.
Most women wouldn't agree with that, not the way that he's stating it. And I kind of doubt that he states it like that. Or when he contextualizes it, they're like, oh, that's not really submissiveness. He's using the wrong word, but...
Yes, but most women would agree with that. And they do. They want a man that's like, hey, if my guy's gonna, if he makes the right decision, I'd prefer to just let him do his thing.
Well, I don't want to...
That's not submissiveness. If you said if my guy makes the right decision, I prefer to let him do his thing. That's a woman saying that I'll leave it up to him as long as he makes a good decision. That's not submissiveness. That's like having a group of 10 people and one of them's a mechanic and saying, I want that guy to be the mechanic of the group. Like there's 10 people stranded on an island or whatever, and somehow mechanics are necessary still. And they're like, should be a mechanic? And you're like, well, this guy's a baker. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Let's let the mechanic handle that. And we'll let the baker handle that. And the fisherman, like that's just a delegation of jobs that everybody is comfortable with. That's not submissiveness. That's really just intelligence. That's why my wife won't let me clean sometimes, because I don't do a good job on purpose so that she doesn't ask me to clean, right? So it's a delegation of jobs, guys. It's not submissiveness.
I'm sure your wife is like that too, Ethan. I'm sure. I don't know. What's your wife's name? Could you tell me?
Hila.
Hila?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she's like that too, and that's a form of submission.
No. I don't want to be presumptuous, but there are women here. Do you guys want to talk about, are you happier submitting?
Well, these are dirty Western women.
I also like it when my partner is nice. I also like it when my partner doesn't say I'm ugly. I also like it when my
Is this her partner on the TV? I don't know.
Partner is nice to kids and animals. I like that. I like a partner who likes my strength. I think.
What's your name?
I'm Olivia.
Can you tell me your name? So, Olivia, my question was, do you like it when...
really quick. It's funny when he asks name, because I feel like it's a course. What's your name? It's like it's almost like it sounds so silly, but it's almost like a motivational course. Like, what's your name, to try to personalize it very quickly. I don't know. I'm overthinking stuff, but it just feels like he read this in a book. Always ask the person their name to make them more comfortable. But
so, Olivia, my question was, do you like it when your man, say you have, I don't know if you have a boyfriend or husband or whatever, but theoretically, when your man, if you were to always make the right decision and you felt inside of you that you could trust him and you didn't have to worry, would you prefer that to the alternative, which is, I don't think that my man is making the right decision right now and I'm going to have to figure this out on his behalf?
So first of all, that's not submissive. Second of all, you're going to have a situation where a guy's going to make wrong calls, and if you're a woman that wants men to make the call, there's nothing wrong with that. But your man's not always going to make the right call. We have to understand that as well. You're going to have to be able to stand up and say like, no, this isn't good. So you need to. A strong woman can let the man lead, but she still needs to be able to speak up for herself and advocate for herself.
Which would you prefer? And you can be honest.
I would prefer that both of us know how to do it together.
That's what I do.
I would rather have a say than not have a say.
Do sex.
You're implying it's a masculine trait to be dependable, and it's not a female trait to be dependable. You see what?
Just so you know, those are. Oh, the event is ending soon? I just fucking nay-nayed myself. Oh, fuck, dude. Wow. I don't know if dependability would be a masculine trait, but there's a difference between a masculine trait and a female trait. Just so you guys know, there's masculinity and femininity are really socially constructed ideas and like roles that we assign to different things based on like the way that we operate in society. So I would consider like empathy a feminine trait. I would consider physical strength a masculine trait. However, I think that women and men should both be masculine and feminine. I think a man should be feminine in the sense of being more empathetic and emotional to different degrees in a positive way. I just kind of wanted to recontextualize the way that we talked about masculinity and femininity, because it's good for men to have levels of femininity associated with them, and it's good for women to have levels of masculinity associated with them. So
you're not explicitly saying that, but you're like, you women want a man that could depend on. It's not as important for men though, because it's not really.
Yeah, men want a woman
for a woman
that
to
they
be
can depend on
dependable.
too.
No, women have to be dependable, but
okay. So what's the difference?
Probably they're just dependable. They're just dependable in
That's
different
also
ways.
European.
I would imagine.
European. That's how they
I,
think.
for one, don't think that the whole submitting thing is right. I prefer partnership.
Who the fuck is this girl? I've never seen her before, and she has like the worst mic in the house.
European, Asian. It's more his.
That's Lena, by the way. She's a woman.
Okay, so
Thanks.
you ladies prefer partnership. That's fine. Then just imagine a scenario where you're
All women want a partnership.
with a husband, and for every single decision that he has to make, he's going to come and consult you for every single thing. He's like, "Hey, babe, what do you think about this?" Like he has no sense of leadership or direction.
This guy's never been in a relationship before. He just asked. I'm sorry. That was really preposterous what this motherfucker just said. Hold on.
Has to make, he's going to come and consult you. Imagine a scenario where you're with a husband, and for every single decision that he has to make, he's going to come and consult you for every single thing. He's like, hey babe, what do you think about this? Like, he has no.
Well, you should. Bro, I don't even know how to answer. I'm actually flabbergasted. This is one. It's a rare moment when somebody fucking floors me because how fucking stupid they are. Sorry, no offense. Obviously, you shouldn't go to somebody for every decision. I am obviously not going to go to my wife for what I'm going to eat by myself for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and she wouldn't do the same. I'm not going to go to my wife and ask her how I should wipe my asshole. I'm not going to go to my wife and ask her which shirt I should wear. Well, sometimes I will if we're going out together somewhere nice and she wants to color match. But generally, you're going to collaborate on decisions. Hey, babe, I was thinking of getting a car. That's a good. I should ask my wife. When my wife goes food shopping, is there anything you'd like? You should, for the most part, be keeping your partner in on decisions for things that are going on. It's just so fucking normal. I don't know what world do you live in? Like, obviously, I'm not going to call my wife right now and be like, babe, should I play the video? I just paused it for. That would be preposterous. But, you know, if I'm thinking, for instance, that I want to go out to eat tonight for dinner, I might call her and say, hey, are you down for that? And she'd be like, no, I want to cook from home because we're trying to eat everything from home for like during the whole week. And then the weekends we might go out and splurge a little bit. We're trying to part of our healthy eating. Yeah, I shouldn't have to ask my wife about a new motorcycle. True. You're right.
Sense of leadership or direction.
If it concerns both of us.
You really want that?
If it's something that's just in his life,
Important
he
stuff.
can handle himself.
Important
But if
stuff.
it concerns me, I'd like to know about it. I'd like to get my input on it.
I think it's actually fascinating that you bring that up. Like, why would you want your man to consult you? Because he thinks you're an equal and values your opinion on things. I mean, are you saying, oh, I don't want to ask my wife what gum I should chew right now? Or like, what are you talking about? Because it's obvious that in big life decisions, you should consult your partner.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, my girlfriend, she trusts me. If I
Mine
say
too.
it's a better decision for us to financially do this or to wait until we do this,
Right.
I will tell her, I'll explain it to her, and she'll give me suggestions. Sometimes she'll trust me. Sometimes.
Oh, she gives you pushback. Oh, my God. Dude, he's literally debunking himself. She'll give me suggestions sometimes. Okay, that's called making a decision together. But you seem to be the leader of the financial ones. This kid is like acting like a normal person, but like pretending that he's manosphere. It's so bizarre.
Times and not give me suggestions. I'll be open with her.
Okay.
And if she does give me a suggestion, I'm not just going to toss it in the trash. No, I'm going to listen to her and honor her.
Wow, that's just called
I don't
talking.
think that
Okay,
we're really
whatever.
disagreeing on much here. I think that we're literally just.
Your framing is dumb dog shit, and it's intentionally provocative so that you can align yourself with idiots in the manosphere, but you don't agree with what they actually have to say, feel, or think. That's the problem here. That's what that's the issue that we're experiencing right now, more than anything else.
Right, but okay, so then what's interesting is that you are appealing to this red-pilled community. This is, if you go to your TikTok, if you go to your YouTube, this is your identity. You're getting these men and you're telling them that this is the alpha way of life. And when you say that we're not that different, I do agree, and we kind of both understand, which is the obvious what makes a good relationship and stuff, but the way you paint it online is you say women are submissive. And then what you just said is like, when you have to make a financial decision, it's your decision, right? But you'll ask, but you'll take, but she's in no position to make that decision, right? That's ultimately your decision.
Yeah, but
That's
you ask her and you consult her.
I don't think that we're that similar. I think that we're just agreeing about this specific thing.
Okay.
Just to correct you there, and then I don't know what you asked me.
Well, you're presenting your
Wasn't he the one that said that they were agreeing? I'm okay.
opinion in a way that I think is harmful to men specifically, actually, because women know better, right? And I think some women have a like traditional.
Well, Ethan,
women know better.
Ethan,
what
let me
what does that mean? I don't even know what he's talking about there.
Most of your content, most of your audience used to be men, and now it's not. Now, majority of your audience is women.
So first of all, that's not a good thing or a bad thing necessarily. It depends on the content you're making. I would say when it comes to like a social conversation spirit, it's not bad to have a diverse audience, but that doesn't necessarily indicate anything wrong. There are issues with Ethan's content, of course, that like we get all criticized. Again, I think this is the year for everybody to be better. You know, I've been enjoying Ethan's content a bit more this year. I'm not going to lie. But the demographic doesn't necessarily matter. Who cares about that? That's independent of like any issues he's had.
And my audience looks up to me. They're inspired by me.
They shouldn't.
And I've had conversations with plenty of men, older, younger, same age, that have said that I've changed their life for the better. They feel happy, happier. They feel better about themselves, and they're in a much better position in life right now because I've inspired them. Most of my audience is males. So I don't think you can say that I'm not a good role model for men.
What does that matter?
When your audience list used to literally be mostly men, and over time, men have stopped watching you because they don't look up to you in any way. You're not a role model to these men. They don't want to consume your content. Your content is very hateful. It's uninspiring. My content is very inspiring. So
the problem is that like telling women that they're submissive can be considered like a little bit hateful there, brother. But sure, I guess I get what you're saying. But these are independent issues of like Ethan just kind of frying his credibility. It really has nothing to do with any of the other stuff. To sit here and say that like because I'm just that's a completely separate argument in my opinion. That's different, a separate situation. You know.
Hold on, I'm almost done. You can respond.
Go ahead.
I've been in. To give you an example, I've been in a car with someone before that he stopped me, and he works for me now, but he said, Sebastian, my father was never around. I don't have any older brothers. I don't have anyone to look up to.
Wow.
You're literally the only person I've ever looked up to, and you have made me such a better person. I've gotten in the gym.
And then I hired him.
I've taken care of myself. I started a business and now I'm making good money. And this kid who was 18 was crying in front of me when I met him for the first time.
How many
because I was that much of a role model.
I've had people cry when they meet me. Probably more than you.
That sounds fun. I don't know what his business is. I don't know if it's like selling the fucking snake oil like all these other manosphere courses. Here's what I know. The way that he's presenting his shit is just dumb. Like, he literally said that, like, women want a man that can make every decision for them. And wouldn't it be silly if a man had to ask the person that they're with a question every time they wanted to make a decision? Then he went on to talk about how he consults the girl that he talks to before making decisions. So, like, he's not communicating well what he actually thinks. It sounds like either he doesn't know how to communicate properly, or he's intentionally trying to sound agreeable with like the manosphere so that for an audience, but then he just says pretty basic benign things like women are meant to be submissive. Oh, okay. But I asked my woman, but she wants me to do these things. And I consult her before making decisions. Oh, well, that's not really submissiveness. That just means that like you're a leader, but that doesn't make them submissive. That just means that you're the leader. Those are two different things. There's a difference between leading somebody and like a submissive person. And leading submissive people is actually means that you're a weak leader. Just want you guys to know that, because it means that you can't dominate or you can't lead people with strong wills, which means that you don't inspire people with strong wills. So it's just silly.
Yeah, but probably not because you inspired them. Probably just because you're famous. And
you think people just cry because I'm famous?
I'm just saying.
People shed tears for me, bro. They're a mess.
I don't think that you would even disagree with me when I say that I'm a much better role model at 24 for men than you are at 37.
Okay, good.
I would probably disagree with that. I don't know the guy specifically. I don't know that he's a great role model, but like, like what the fuck is happening? This guy really feels good about himself, though. So God bless him for being a positive male role model, teaching people to start a drop shipping business. Is that what it is? He just teaches people to buy stuff off Amazon and then sell it. Get your bag, brother. Personally, I'm not going to go over it again, but maybe go to a trade job and respect your spouse. Armbar with that. More on board.
By the way, my audience is like 50-50 male and female.
Now he works for me.
But you're right. It used to be majority men. But let me go back to what you said. You said because a lot of men look up to you, you're more qualified to talk about what's good for men.
I didn't say that.
Oh, so what was your point?
I didn't say that. I said I said I'm a better role model for men.
Why?
And I don't think you're a role model for men at all.
Right. Because I have a more women audience.
No,
but that's what you said.
Because you used to have a more male audience, and now you don't. And that's because men have no reason to look up to you.
Right. Well, a lot of people looked up to Hitler. Does that mean he was right?
No, of course not. But I'm not Hitler.
No.
No, of course this guy's not Hitler. The point is that people don't necessarily always gravitate towards a positive person, right? You know what I mean? Hitler stole people's snake oil and killed a bunch of Jewish people. And this kid's obviously not that bad, but like it sounds like the value he's providing is people that already have money to be able to invest that money into buying up stuff and then selling it. Is that what drop shipping is? Buying it from like Alibaba.com, which I think is a real website, by the way, and then selling it off. So it's not really giving anybody the ability to motivate them to be a better person. It's just how to be a middleman. Basically be a factory. You're the factory guy. Your customers place an order from you. Store automatically sends the order to your dropshipping supplier. Your dropshipping supplier prepares your customer's order. Your dropshipping supplier ships the order directly to your customer. Yeah, so you're just like an unnecessary middleman. So,
of course, it's an extreme example, but just because you have people that look up to you doesn't make you right.
I mean, yeah, that was just a very poor example. That doesn't really that doesn't prove you're right or anything.
So what? Okay, so this is good. What do you think makes you a better role model than me?
I encourage men to exercise, and I lead by example. Okay.
Exercise? What if I told you exercise is not
the second?
Well, okay, yeah, that's great. We obviously people should exercise. But what does leading by example mean? Like, what is it that you lead by example? Because you also exercise. Like, that's good. That's really basic, though. Like, that's good. It's a little basic. There's not a whole lot going on there. Bars seems to be on the floor, but that actually makes sense because there are so many like deadbeat dads that don't take care of their kids that like now the bar literally is on the floor. That's the greater problem is that we don't have enough dads. True stuff, no joke.
The most important.
The second thing is I encourage men to become financially independent, and there's plenty of ways you can do that leveraging the internet. Okay, you've seen it because you've done it yourself, so you know that I'm right, and there's plenty of ways to do it as well. And I encourage men to do that instead of the alternative, which is going and getting a job that they might regret later in life.
That is becoming financially independent. So you're an idiot. I just want to be very clear. First of all, I don't see that there's a whole lot of longevity in fucking drop shipping. It's also not good to teach people to do what Ethan does because that's like top 0.1%. It's very difficult to get online. It's not a bad idea to do it as like a hobby. You know what I mean? Like if you have the motivation, you want to work on having a social media presence, that's not a bad idea, but you need to focus on having a real job that you can go to if it doesn't work out, because the reality is life's not always going to give you what you want. And this could end at any day. And I'm always ready to go back and get a real job. Teaching people not to get a job because they might be unhappy, that's life. You're going to become unhappy. You need to find ways to become happy because life is hard and you have to kind of work on that difficulty. Help directing people in the right direction, like maybe a trade school, or don't go to college if you don't know what the fuck you want to do. I'm not going to get into like super big. I mean, I'm not going to get super deep into it right now because I constantly do. That's good for motivation, but say that don't go to get a job. Like you're a child telling people that like selling unreasonable expectations. And it sounds like you're probably selling another bullshit like Hustlers University, which is up to 4.0 now, guys, because they have to keep rebranding it because it's a boring, simpleton, dumb bullshit fucking course. And so you get like a bunch of people to sign on and pay whatever amount of money per month, and like 3 people succeed. You're not actually helping people. You're helping a couple of people, and then you're poisoning the minds of other people. Yeah, go to the gym. You're better off getting that advice from somebody like Mike Israetel, Alan Thrall, people like that, Dan Green, Chad Wesley Smith, James Wendler or Jim Wendler. These are better. Like go to somebody who actually knows about working out, because like this sounds like a kid who just started going to the gym and doesn't necessarily know too much about fitness. I could just be wrong about that. I'm obviously coming from the perspective of somebody who's trained for strongman. I'm not nearly as educated. I wouldn't be qualified to give you like a, in-depth rundown, but saying go to the gym isn't like a robust resource or information or like, vast amount of knowledge. It's just pretty basic stuff. Like, yeah, people should work on their minds, bodies, and spirits, guys. These guys not providing too much value. No offense, but okay.
And they do that. Okay. I also encourage men to not be a degenerate, not sleep around with a bunch of girls, and to get one girl, to be loyal to that girl, and to build a family with her. That's what I encourage men to do.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay, so those three things are very, very important for me, among others as well. But those are, I would
among
say,
us,
the most important ones.
Okay, and that makes you a better role model than me. How?
Because you don't do that. You don't promote exercise. You spread a bunch of hate. You don't love anyone. Your whole entire worldview is negative.
Does he have kids?
Like you don't spread love. Like
wait, what do you mean? I don't love anyone.
I meant to say that you don't spread love.
Only
like,
your
entire
the pinks.
worldview is extremely negative.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you think?
Do you disagree? Like, do you?
No,
do
I
you
do.
really
I do.
like,
I do.
I'm
I think you can observe that I criticize a lot of people, right? But the people I criticize, I think, are very worthy of being criticized. For example,
sure, Ethan can be disproportionate sometimes. Let's be clear with that, especially
Andrew
last
Tate,
year.
I think is just doing untold damage to a whole generation of men.
Sure.
But do you think that there's other ways to inspire people other than going to the gym and doing drop shipping and shit like that?
How do you think that you inspire people, Ethan? Do you believe you inspire people?
I wouldn't
say that Ethan's content inspires people to really do anything. It's more entertainment value. I mean, if you looked at Ethan, there might be some people that look at Ethan and go like, oh, he's a guy that has in a stable relationship, has a wife and a kid or 2 kids now that He seems to love a lot, and he's been with long term. You could probably appreciate the vulnerability that comes from Ethan talking about his struggle with depression and like the fact that he's on medication. I think that vulnerability is something that can be appreciated and respected. Is he explicitly like, I know how men should be guy? Like, no, of course not. But I also would be pretty apprehensive about a 24-year-old doing that, considering the very limited and probably non-existent like actual life experience. If this is, I don't know what real, like, not for nothing, but just unrealistic, like selling you kind of like snake oil, like, oh, you could just do this and you'll be successful. Probably not. Most of the people that he probably works with aren't successful. He cherry picks a select few that were able to find success in like doing something that's probably not going to work for most. I think most people who do drop shipping probably don't even get anywhere because like 90% advertising and marketing. I would say that this guy's desire to be a positive role model has probably not yielded that well. He might think he's doing well, but he's probably not doing as profoundly or as much of a positive impact as he's saying. But
and presume to do that much, you know what I mean? But I do think probably there's people. I wouldn't presume to even make that assumption though.
Ethan, the thing is you.
It's a little bit of hubris, isn't it? It's a little bit of hubris to look at yourself as a savior like that.
Yeah, it's
no,
true.
I don't. You criticize everyone.
It's not really my goal either. I'm an entertainer.
Except yourself.
I'm not a self-help guy.
Right, you're not a self-help guy.
I mean, I'm an entertainer. I'm not a self-help guru.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, not. Okay. Anyway,
let me show you this, dude.
What I'm trying to say.
This is gonna blow your fucking mind. Ethan inspired me to lose weight. I'm under 200 pounds.
Oh,
please,
shit.
Someone mayo up their dome. Look at, I inspired this man right here. That's a picture. That man, he would cry if he ever met me, boy. I'll tell you what, tears, kisses, and hugs, man. And I'll be like, I love you, dude.
There's an inspiration right there.
That's very inspirational.
Good job. You inspired one person. Good job.
That's basically what's happening with this guy. The problem is that it seems to be like a lot of young men, like younger than him, that look at him and go like, oh man, I really want to be like this. But if they were your age, they're going to be like, there's going to be substantially fewer of them because like it's a little silly. What you're teaching isn't realistic or isn't something everybody could do. Right? There's nothing wrong with chasing your dreams. If drop shipping works for you, whatever, be my guest. But like it's better to teach somebody to, engage in a stable job, like a trade job, maybe some kind of union job. Wow, I just got fucking dumpstered. I guess I'm a bad role model because I can't fucking beat this goddamn level on 17 heat. Yeah. I think the guy's a little full of himself. I'm gonna be a little apprehensive about guys who talk themselves up so much. But okay.
I think he's the only one out there.
He inspired me.
No,
he told me I can't do jokes today.
I think you should lead by example.
Thanks, buddy.
Do you think making people laugh is
Well, if you're saying lead by example, Ethan is much more successful than this kid. So by that logic, he's leading by example better. And he has a wife and kids and a stable home. And he has a gun. It's pretty badass.
Laugh is important?
I don't think that you make people laugh. I don't think that you're
okay, come on. That's it. I mean, come on. Like, you might not think I'm funny, but we get 1 million views per podcast. We're one of the most important. We're one of the most biggest podcasts in the world.
Whoa, almost said important. Definitely not important. Well, Ethan, I don't know if you get 1 million. Let's take a look at every podcast. Okay, let's see what we got here on YouTube. Let's see live. Oh, let's see 877,000. That's not 1 million. 527. That's almost nothing. 500,000 views. I get that in 6 months, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Pathetic. He has he does have a very successful podcast though. So, what's happening here? Go back up. Play.
You can't say that I don't make people laugh.
Oh God!
Like even if you don't find me funny, that's kind of a crazy thing to say.
That's true.
Your brand has been on a downtrend for the last 2 years. Your brand is dying.
That's not true, is it?
Your tweet got less likes. You got like 300 likes. I tweeted.
Who cares about tweets?
Directly to you, dummy. It wasn't a public tweet.
First of all, Twitter doesn't make you money, so who cares? Second of all, there's always going to be ebbs and flows. You're not going to always go on a continuous upturn. The only time you're going to be consistent is if you work for someone else's company, and even then, you're going to have ebbs and flows of how well you're doing, and you might be feeling more or less depressed. There's always going to be shifts in different things, just in general. But he's been around for a long time. I mean, even if you don't like the guy, you kind of have to appreciate that, that longevity. And he does make people laugh. Like, I thought Frenemies was very funny. Bring back Trisha Paytas. Am I right, guys? I'm just saying. But No, don't bring her back. God fucking damn it, dude. I'm just getting dumpstered. This game's getting too hard for me. I gotta play something easier. Where did I go? Oh, fuck my balls. Anyway, he's still doing pretty well. I'd say. Oh my fucking tits, dude. This is so fucking annoying. Sorry.
It was literally, I tweeted directly to you. You understand how Twitter works, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
good.
I do.
Clearly
so then why would that get a lot of likes?
Your brand is dying.
Why would that get a lot of likes?
And it's going to continue dying because of the type of content that you push.
It's not really dying, though, is it?
There's a lot of... yes, it is.
In what way is it dying?
People have consistently unsubscribed from your channel.
And so people unsubscribing, this one metrics proves that my brand is dying.
No, and the overall reputation that you have in the YouTube community. And when I looked up your name to do research on who you are, because I don't know who you are, there is no shortage of videos talking about how
you don't know who I am.
Brand, you used to be so much more popular, and you used to be funny back in the day, but now you're like this SJW person that spreads a ton of hate.
But yeah, for obviously there's things that Ethan's done that haven't been ideal. I also think that the internet is changing and there's more active voices that are coming in and displaying their perspective nowadays. So the landscape is changing, and you could argue some of that's a struggle to change. But
you don't know who I am. Did you know who I am when you made that TikTok saying I'm the worst person in the world and that I'm dumb?
I know who you are.
Well, hold on, because you looked me up after I reached out, and it was after that video. It seems that you made a lot of presumptions about me.
No. I know. I've known who you are, but I've never watched or consumed your content.
Okay. Do you just know that
I don't know you
as
a person. I don't know you as a person. Well, yeah.
So then how do you know his content's bit? I don't understand, but okay.
Quoting you.
Sebastian, can I pull up your analytics? Your shit's on the down curve, brother. Your career is going down to the fucking dumps, bro.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, that is a colossal dump, bro.
That's off the cliff.
And I mean, at least mine is like pretty flat. But that is...
Well, it looks like he's going up. I guess he started in May of 2020, and then he kind of started here. His subscribers are down here, and he goes up a little bit. Kind of comes back down. Looks like he's on a bit of a downturn. These past, I guess it's the past 4 months he's been on a bit of a downturn in new subscribers. But okay.
Treacherous, man. You were going down like the Titanic, brother. That is rough.
That's brutal.
Can you hold on? Yeah, so my analytics are down because I haven't posted content. I posted a video with my mom that I knew wouldn't do well, and I just posted a video yesterday. So yes, I know my analytics are down. I'm taking a little bit of a break from YouTube because I've been getting a lot of heat on the internet, so I just wanted to take a step back. That's why they're down.
Well, that's one of the things that comes with the internet. So that's you not doing particularly well. Hey, God bless you either way. But okay. Yeah. Seems like his videos are doing a little worse. Like, who cares? This is why you don't have this type of energy, because like, who really cares? Everybody goes through ups and downs. Hey, God bless him. God bless him, dude.
Down.
It's tough being out there as a creator, huh? I don't think you're gonna make it. If you have thin skin like that. I mean, that's why it's going down.
I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine.
That's good.
Ethan,
Good
if I
confidence.
can interject in his behalf, I think he's going to do better than all of us together.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy.
Not you and me. Him.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Yeah, but I
that's just my opinion.
Our podcast is always continually.
What does that mean? He's going to do better than all of us together, not me and you, just Sebastian. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, he's saying it. Okay.
Charts of the most popular
I got confused
podcasts
the way
in
he
the
said
world. And our viewership is phenomenal. I don't know if what you know is normal viewerships for a podcast, but regularly getting 1 million views on a podcast, and we post 4 or 5 times a week. That's pretty impressive, don't you think? Like, clearly people like the show.
They wouldn't watch it if they
Sure. Yeah. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Yeah, you got
atheist.
yours.
Checkmate. Okay. Cool. Listen. Let's see. I have other things I want to talk to you about. Here's one about what girls can't wear. So let's see.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
There are things she can and cannot wear. Well, it depends. I mean, fashion is so broad. So I'll have to see. But if she's dressed provocatively and I'm not with her, there's absolutely no reason why she should dress like that. It's attention I'm trying to get if I'm not there. If I go out with her, that's another thing. You should only care about my attention. If you're my wife, there should be no other attention from a man that you should care about other than mine.
The way that he talks about shit's just weird. Because, like, yes, I agree, but it's not that controversial. It's like he's trying to be controversial. Hey, I don't want my wife's dressed like a slut if I'm not there, because that communicates to me that she might be trying to get other guys, or provocatively, excuse me. Yeah, I agree. I guess it depends on what provocative is. That's not controversial, but it like sounds like he's trying to be controversial. Like, why? That's just a normal fucking opinion. Same thing for a man. You shouldn't be dressed to try to look for a mate if you're married. That's not a controversial opinion. It's just bizarre the way that some of these things are phrased. Like, it's just so weird. I'm gonna fucking poop my pants right now. Holy moly. There we go.
at all, except for your father and your brother. That's it. So
Okay.
So your stance is you can look pretty when you're with me.
No, his stance is provocatively. Like, you can't dress like in a very sexualized manner with me. Like, I tend to agree with that in my personal relationship. You do you. I don't give a fuck what you guys do. But yes, I tend to agree. Okay.
But if
Whatever.
you're not with me, you need to not look pretty.
No,
Okay.
wrong. My stance is you shouldn't dress provocatively unless you're with me.
What's provocative?
Okay. Booty
Like,
shorts, baby.
Showing a ton of cleavage or wearing as little clothing as possible.
Yeah.
Wearing
Okay.
as little clothing as possible. Okay, so it's cool when they're with you, but if they go out looking like that, it's not okay.
And
The problem is that this perspective, because like I agree, I wouldn't let my wife dress like super provocatively either. But the problem is that it depends on where you're going. Because this perspective comes from the manosphere when they meet these girls at clubs and bars, and they're basically saying, "I don't want my girl going to a club and a bar," which is a place you go to find mates or whatever, girls and guys, and looking sexy without me. That's it. So it's like he doesn't really have a reason to be saying what he's saying, because like I feel like most women don't really dress that provocatively. Like the word provocative, like some girl, like when you, it's like that communicates like club dressing to me. Most girls don't even dress like that. I mean, I guess we could all interpret it differently, but the problem is this guy just seems to be kind of a interpretation of what he thinks people in the manosphere are, without any particular depth behind it.
I mean, no, I would say even when they're with me, I wouldn't want them to do that in public.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
You do you, brother.
What's the problem?
Well, it's a little insecure.
I guess.
No, it's not.
It is a little bit.
It's a preference.
Well, no,
it's
it's a
not. It's a
preference.
preference.
Well, in this video, because you're kind of walking it back, so we can move on if you want. But in this video, you say dress sexy when you're with me, but not when you're not with me.
Yeah, no, I would
So
say
now
I
you're saying
prefer
don't
if she
dress-
never dressed.
Don't dress.
I'm not saying dress sexy. Women can dress sexy and not provocatively. You can dress sexy and look tastefully good without showing like your
Tastefully
tits and your
good.
butt and whatever.
Tits in
but-
your butt.
It's a preference.
Yeah, I would say I would.
It's a preference
I
based
don't like
on
it.
your.
I don't like it.
Okay, that's fair. That's
not-
fair.
it's not-
No, that's fair. If you have that understanding with your partner, I think that's totally fair. But this
It's not insecurity either. It's not insecurity. It's just I don't
It is,
like that. I don't
though.
want
It is. Like,
I don't
let's
think it's
follow the
insecurity.
thread.
No, it's not.
Because you're basically.
No, it's not.
You're
Would you
a
want your wife out there?
Okay,
Would
hold
you
on.
want your wife out there dressed like a hoe?
No, of course not.
Well, the definition of a hoe, I guess, is I'm not quite sure what that means. But
You
you're
just answer my question. Would you want her out there dressing or wearing as minimal clothing as possible out in a club?
See,
What I
right,
want
right where
my-
I was saying a club. That's the interpretation of like a club. I wonder if this guy even goes to clubs. I wonder.
Hold on.
I just don't know.
hold on.
No, answer the question.
Okay, well, let me show you
like,
this.
it's a
Do
yes
you
or
think-
no.
Okay, well, hold
It's
on.
a yes or
Then. Is
no.
my wife dressed like a hoe here? Because I just want to get your. She posted this to social media.
Would you go out to dinner with your wife
little.
dressed like that?
I wouldn't call her a hoe. It's a little. I don't personally. I don't know if I would let my wife post a picture like this, like that. Maybe, I don't know. I think God bless. As long as you guys are happy with your relationship boundaries. But whatever. I don't know. I just feel like for me, that's mine. You want to call it insecure? I really just don't care. The same thing of me posting a picture of my fucking with my bulge out. You know what I mean? My wife wouldn't want me to do that. Maybe we're just a little bit more reserved. But okay.
Of course, she wouldn't go like that. I mean, why? But do you?
I don't know why she's posting. I mean, that's you and your wife, your relationship.
No, no, but I
wouldn't-
just want. No,
wouldn't
say
be
what
okay
you
with her
want.
posting
Say
I
what
need
you
this, I
want.
need
I'm
this.
trying to
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
your point. Do you think she's dressed like a hoe right now? And you can say yes. It's fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't want her posting. I wouldn't want my girlfriend posting pictures like
Okay,
that.
because
on
that's a
Instagram.
preference from
I'm
insecurity,
gonna
right?
fucking kill
Because-
myself.
No, it's not.
Because
it's a prep. I don't want that.
Yeah,
It might
because
be
makes you
insecure. Who
feel
cares?
insecure.
Who cares?
It doesn't make me feel insecure.
It might be. Who cares? Just say like maybe. I don't care. Like who cares? Like you don't have to like it. We don't have to all be perfect. Oh, that's insecure. Maybe. I don't care. I do not care if you think it's insecure. Everybody has relationship insecurities. So who cares if it's insecure? I don't personally don't give a singular fuck. I'm completely fucked here. I'm gonna lose this. I'm fucking playing this game like the dumpster fucking fire lately.
How does it make you feel?
Secure.
How does it make you feel?
I don't like the hold on. How that girl's portraying herself, like how she's basically advertising and like saying like, look how nice my body looks for the entire world to see, for the entire public to see. I don't like that. I want
Why?
her to just save that for me.
Why
because
don't
that's
you like
what
it?
I like.
But
I just
why?
don't want other people seeing it. It's mine.
Are you
because
not?
It's mine.
It's yours.
Yeah,
It's
I agree
yours.
with him.
It's my wife. I don't want everyone to see her body.
she's
It's my
yours.
wife. Yes. And
But
I'm
he's
her.
married to Ela?
Okay, and so, well, to me, I don't want to
100%,
control.
yeah.
I want my wife Ela to be as powerful and confident as she wants to be. I'm not threatened by other women looking at her in a way that they think maybe she's attractive or maybe she looks hot or whatever, because I trust her, right? She knows. Well, hold on. I know that there's no one else out there who's going to tempt her away from me, and I want her to feel powerful and confident.
Male, dude.
Okay.
Not insecure is what you're saying. That's all
I don't think I'm insecure, right?
That's what you just said. I'm not insecure. I'm the same with my wife.
Yeah.
She's with me, and nobody's going to do anything.
Exactly.
I mean, she's not going to do anything.
Right. Yeah. And so I just want you to dig a little deeper and explain why you don't like it, because it's yours, because she's yours, and nobody else can see her body. Nobody else can see her body.
Yeah. Yes.
Even if she wants 100%. To show it. Even if she wants to show it, because she wants to feel sexy.
She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to.
I know, but you're a role model, and you're putting this out on your TikTok. This is what you're putting out. I know you guys have a preference, but I'm talking about your influence on men. So if she wants to go out and dress sexy and look good, you're against that.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm against her dressing provocatively. She can look nice.
Because for women, putting on makeup and dressing sexy and going out, it makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel confident. It's not necessarily about wanting to fuck other dudes.
It's what it is what makes them feel powerful about it is when they go out and they dress really nice. What gives them the power is the attention that they get. It doesn't have to be a guy walking up to them. It could be a guy looking at them. And that's what gives them the power. It's the attention from other men. And if that weren't true, then they could dress up and look amazing and just they could stay in home, or they could look in the mirror and without anyone around.
So they can dress hot and stay at home.
I don't think that if I have a girlfriend, she should have a desire to go out there and even seek the attention from other men, because the attention she gets from me is enough.
Yeah, these are the same guys posting up their shirtless flexing gym selfies. That's true, actually. So, like, would you allow that opposite? Because that's the thing. When it comes to me, I would allow the opposite, obviously. Like, my wife has the same decision over me that I would have over her. But would he do the same in the reverse? You know? Like, would he take down all those gym selfies that he's got? Huh? It's a good question.
Don't we all crave validation? Like, don't we all crave validation in some way?
You should get enough validation from your wife, and your wife should get enough from you. She should be inspired by you, and maybe if you had a six pack, she would be more inspired by you, and she wouldn't post thirst traps on Instagram. But you should be inspired by your six pack.
Now he's just getting upset and offended and disrespectful. I mean, listen, I know Ethan's being a little rude to him. You know, but I will say that it is not a very, it's a very emotional thing to do to get upset like this. All right, so relax a little bit, brother. Okay, you're getting too emotional. All right, you gotta relax. You're getting too angry. You're getting too upset. You're getting too emotional. It's not becoming of a man. Only women get emotional. Okay, just kidding. But seriously, have a little bit more regulation over your emotions. You're being a little bit of a silly goose right now.
Okay, so me not having a six pack is promoting my wife to seek male attention because I'm not hot enough, because my attention is not worth it.
Maybe if you took care of yourself, Ethan, and you were in better shape, maybe she wouldn't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe she wouldn't.
That's exactly what you're saying.
So if I was hotter,
maybe not.
If I was hotter, she wouldn't feel the need.
Not hotter. If you took care of yourself,
yeah.
You don't have to be hotter.
Okay, if I was skinny and I had a six pack.
If she saw you, and you're like, wow, he really cares and respects himself, and I like his attention, and I don't need to go out there and look for attention from guys in the comments or whatever.
See, don't you see you're insecure? Because I know
it's not insecurity.
Yes, it is. You are insecure, dude.
It's one of those things where it's weird to because again, I agree personally in a relationship with this guy, but like if you don't do that, I don't care. Like I don't think that there's any deep seated fucking issues at home with Ethan or Hila because she's posting that picture. She probably just wants to feel nice. But if it was my wife, I just wouldn't let it happen because I'm not comfortable with that. And you might be like, well, you're being insecure. I don't care. I literally do not care if I'm being insecure. Cry me a fucking river. I'm allowed to be insecure. Like we're all allowed to be. Are you perfect? No, nobody's perfect. If I'm being insecure, okay, suck a fart, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Suck my balls. Like I don't know, but like I wouldn't say like there's a fundamental issue in their relationship because they don't adhere to my standards. Like who gives a fuck? It's like your relationship. Like take care of your own shit. Like I don't care.
You're threatened by the other attention that people give to your significant other. You're threatened.
I'm not threatened by it at all. I know that there's not going to be other guys out there that can compete with me for my girl. My girl loves
I don't even
me.
need to compete.
Drop ship
Sebastian. I'm not threatened. I'm not threatened. I just don't like it. It doesn't threaten me. If she wanted, look, Ethan, if she wanted to post a picture and I said, look, I'm not comfortable, I don't like it, and she did it anyway, that's fine. She can do it anyway. And then I would be like, hey, this breaks the boundary of the relationship. This breaks the sanctity of the intimate relationship I want to have with my wife.
Right.
I'm going to just split here. I'm going to go find a girl that respects me. It's not about insecurity. It's just, this is my preference. This is how I want to conduct my life. I like to take control of my life and live my life the way I think is best for me.
But you're putting out messages to young men as a role model, self-proclaimed role model.
Yes.
You refer to your girlfriend as She's yours. I mean, she's a human being, right, with her own desires. She's not an object.
Yes,
Women aren't human.
absolutely. She is mine, and I'm hers. We are to die for each other.
Don't you feel a little slutty when you walk around with your big biceps out and shit?
I only put on this shirt so that I could show you guys that I work out.
That's a little fucking slutty, bro. Are you looking for validation from people in chat? Because you're crossing.
I'm just trying to show you guys. I'm just trying to flex on you guys.
But
I'm trying
why?
to show you guys what's up.
No, but like you think that it's funny. You think you're being funny, but you actually just totally undermined everything you said.
That's true.
You're putting out your biceps. Why are you doing it? For validation.
I'm not doing it for validation.
You just said you wanted to show it off. You just said you wanted to show it off.
It was a joke.
Okay, I get it. Everything's a joke and nothing. Yeah, listen, if I had, like, I would do it too. Like, if I had, I would probably be more open to wearing shirts, like, you know, once I work on it a little bit, you know, like, listen. There's nothing wrong with seeking a little bit of validation. Some things might cross the line. I'd say having your tits and your ass out are a little different than, you know, showing off your biceps, but the fundamentals are there. Right? Like, for instance, this is my podcast, right? And I at one point in here, I'm feeling myself. I'm going to show it, right? We have look at that. I feel like my arms are getting a little bigger. I've been working on myself. I feel good. There's a little bit of shreds and striations, not too much cutting because I'm obese. But I look at that and I'm like, oh, I've been putting in some work. Like, I feel kind of good about that. Of course. Right? My wife's just disappointed in me. I don't know why. Probably I said something stupid. There's nothing wrong with that. Fundamentally, like, yeah, everybody, like, it's nice to feel nice. That's it. Now, I think that there could be, like, if I started posting pictures where my bulge, and then my wife would be like, that's a little too much. And I compare that to showing off too much cleavage, right? That's it. It's not that deep. But, yeah, of course he's seeking some form of validation. It's like, yeah, very basic human desire.
Then I just put on a shirt and I'm
okay, so it's a joke.
Right,
but
I'm sorry that my biceps are big and you're looking.
We'll cover up. I'm sorry that my wife.
They're not
that
big. I'm not trying to be rude, but
I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. Can you guys give me like 2 minutes?
Absolutely. Please, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Cool.
I feel Dan more normal. You better like me now, Dan. Where'd you find this guy?
On TikTok. He's just one of these characters. You know what I mean?
Like from Among Us?
I feel validated today. I feel cured.
Okay, I'm gonna also go to the bathroom though, because I mean I might as well, right? Boom, bam, boom. Front squats today at the gym. Hey, Sebastian, show me your legs, pussy.
Of histrionic personality disorder after meeting this guy.
Yeah, Jimmy's cured.
You couldn't be from two different worlds, Ethan.
Well, we
two
are.
guys. No,
we are.
Him.
When's the guy come back?
About this.
Yeah, you're just.
Oh shit.
Okay, this is slutty. I gotta
increase the speed on this.
That
is that him?
That's slutty, brother. That's him.
And he can't be doing
That's a bit of a thirst trap. I would go as far as say. He has his headphones on. He can hear me. I know you're listening.
So his whole life is going to the gym. That's pretty.
He doesn't want to admit it, but yeah.
His whole life is the gym.
Okay. And so my thing is like the gym is not like the end.
The gym is my.
But that's his whole life.
The gym is his church. Dude.
Is he married, the guy?
He's in a serious relationship. I understand it.
Oh, that's nice.
But he's not married.
Where does he live, if you don't mind me asking?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I believe Arizona.
Arizona? Beautiful Arizona.
Wow.
Anybody here from Arizona?
Extremely beautiful.
Anyone here from Arizona?
I think he went to Discord to ask for meme-themed disses.
He likes those iced teas.
Hey, dude. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. I know it's getting a little contentious, but I appreciate that we're having this conversation.
What does that word contentious mean? Can you tell me what that means? You've used it. 24 years.
I think it just means that. I guess I could look it up, but I'm pretty sure he just means that it's getting a little heated up. Context clues. It's causing or likely to cause an argument or controversial. Oh yeah, yeah. Basically, things are heating up.
Years of wisdom, and you don't know what contentious means? It means we're butting heads. We're butting heads. We're at odds.
Okay.
Yeah. Argumentative.
Okay.
Hey, dude, look.
So
at this.
what thirst trap did I post?
Bro, this
the
is
shirtless picture on Instagram.
Yes, dude. This is unacceptable. That's a thirst trap. That's like you're.
Well, yeah. that was before. That was before. So
23 weeks. How long you been with your girlfriend?
And it was also, I mean, pretty inspiring. I would say, considering I was.
Women can't be inspiring with their bodies.
I mean, there's nothing inspiring by taking off your shirt and showing them your tits.
That's what you're doing. You literally just took your shirt off and showed
your
your
tits.
tits.
That's exactly what you're doing in that photo.
Yeah, but the difference is I trained extremely hard.
Well,
and
what
I
about the
dieted
girls who
properly
train
to get
extremely hard and then post like?
Well, I assumed that when Hila posted that, it's because Ethan and Hila have both been on like a journey to try to become like a little healthier, and that she wanted to post that to show off her fitness journey. Is that not what it was? Ah, I'm getting fucking dumpster. I'm gonna piss in my pants. I'm gonna shit and fucking cum. Oh my god, dude, this is the most hype situation ever.
Hila is training right now with a trainer for a few months.
That's exactly what Hila's photo was.
That she's showing off.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's great.
Oh well, I think
that like there's no like. Oh, I died. how did you not know that? It was pretty easy to figure out. I feel like I didn't even know that. I knew that they both seemed to be losing weight, but I feel like you look at that. She's in like gym clothing. She probably just feels nice, and she looks like she's been losing weight. Good for her. Oh, or getting to whatever. She looks good. She looks nice. Okay, I'm not. That's it. I think that was it. That was the whole point of it. No.
Super inspiring that she did that.
But don't you see how silly you're being?
It inspires me, actually.
Don't you see how silly you're being? You go, oh, I didn't know that.
That inspires my cock. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's a joke. Sorry.
Like everybody who's posting pictures, like there's a lot of them just feel good. They want to show it off all their hard work.
There's different contexts, right? These things are a lot more nuanced. Like if you're just posting a slutty picture versus if you're like working out and you're showing your core or like your progress.
But that wasn't a slutty picture, though, by that logic. That's just her showing off her weight loss.
In the gym, like before and after. That's a different context.
Okay, so
but he didn't post it before and after. He just posted that.
Gym progress pics are good.
It's a different context.
So if a girl posts herself in like tight gym pants and like a bralette to show off progress, is that cool? Or is that slutty?
Look, I still wouldn't want my girlfriend to do that, just in my personal preference. Right. But it's okay, I understand that if you want to show people your progress and you're proud of it, I'm all about that.
Well, yeah, because he's insecure. And again, I guess same, because I wouldn't want my wife to post it. Although if she wanted to post like a gym progress, I guess I'd be fine with that. Like whatever. The intentionality does matter to me. But just like, why are you just be like, yeah, maybe I'm insecure. I don't care. Okay, that's it. That's all it comes down to. Just move on.
Yeah, but don't you see it's a little silly? Because it kind of all qualifies as that when people want to show off and feel good.
No,
because we're all working on it.
I just think it's context. Yeah, sure. I just think it's context.
Yeah, because this video you're putting out as the self-proclaimed role model says women should not ever do that because that means they don't respect their man. Like this is you as a role model talking to men. Because now you're adding nuance and context and stuff, and you're walking stuff back, and you seem more human, right? But like when I watch it,
this is how I am.
Hold on, because that's not what you're selling.
Oh, Hila's trying to put on weight, and she has a hard time, so she got a trainer and a nutritionist to help her build muscle. Okay, that makes sense. Good for her. You know, that's really good. I wish they would bring that up specifically, because I feel like obviously we talk about fat people a lot, and the reason is because people bully fat people a lot. But I don't think that it'd be nice to talk a little bit more about the struggles that can go along with being a little skinny and struggling to gain weight and put on muscle. Because I personally, obviously, I don't know what that means. I've never struggled with that issue. But it would be good. I feel like that's, if anything, that's a really good message. Like, hey, we don't talk enough about skinny people. I don't think. That's me personally. I won't turn this down. Don't worry. I don't think we talk enough about the skinny struggle.
It's not what you're selling.
Of course, I'm not selling anything.
Yes,
of course,
you are.
On TikTok,
you're selling yourself as a self-help
I have no
person.
Control.
Stop it. It's your people.
No, I don't. I don't have a
what happened to being an alpha male, bro? You don't have control of your own social media account and the people you pay?
I never said I was.
Who would want to be you're incompetent? I have control over my shit. That's pretty hot.
I never said I was.
You say that you pay them. You pay them.
You
pay them.
Listen.
You said you pay them.
Listen. Okay. Are you done?
So here's the thing. Obviously, he's been a little bit of a sussy baka, but yeah, no, he pays them. Here's the thing, and this is something that people need to understand as a leader, and it makes me question this person's leadership. As a leader, you are responsible for what people who are under you do, whether you explicitly told them to do it or not. All right, a good leader will take accountability for the bad things that the people that follow them are doing, right? Like if you're at a job and you have a bunch of subordinates and they're doing the wrong thing, it doesn't mean that you're explicitly responsible, but you should have a level of responsibility for them doing the wrong thing because they're doing the wrong thing. And it is, you didn't have control over them. So as a leader, I think that it's silly you're sitting here pretending to act like you're this leader as a man when you can't even take basic accountability for people putting up, like people that you pay for your TikToks or you encourage to do, putting up these TikToks on your account, which it does actually seem like it's like his official account. Yeah, you should be a little bit more like what is fucking happening? A real man would take, or a real leader would take more accountability for that.
Yes, I did. Are you done?
Well, now that yes, I'm done. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. I never said I was an alpha male. I don't sell any self-help courses. I don't do any of that.
You're inspiring.
Okay. I'm just trying to inspire people. Sure. And I actually forgot what I was going to say, unfortunately, but
that's okay. Let's go back. Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately, don't you sell courses though about like being a drop shipper and shit?
So I'm glad you asked. We actually have a free course.
You have a free course.
People can go in.
Okay.
Yeah, people can go and join that for free. We just launched our first paid course yesterday.
So you do.
So they do sell.
Yes, as of yesterday, I saw paid.
Because you just said you don't sell stuff.
So he
I
does.
said I don't sell self-help stuff. God, Ethan, you are so annoying to argue with. You just like
your ideas
you're
are
picking
inconsistent.
at you're picking at like the tiniest
not.
little details like that. You're just arguing like such a child.
No, but that's what it feels like to you. But I'm picking at your logical inconsistency.
This is
because your
crazy.
opinions, they're like.
You would have been a good lawyer, Ethan.
Well, thank you.
No, I'm listening.
Whoa! The anti-Semitism heats up. Just kidding.
They're not small points, right?
Am I right, Olive? I just thought of that.
They're not.
Yeah.
They feel annoying to you because like you don't have adequate answers because your whole identity.
I feel like I don't know what I'm supposed
you're
to
on one
do
hand
here.
selling this image, and you're not selling it, right? People don't have to buy to watch your TikTok, but you're branding yourself as a self-help guy, and you put out videos like this about what women should and can and cannot wear. And then ultimately, you're building yourself as a personality, like Andrew Tate, to sell courses. I mean, I'm not fucking born yesterday. We all know how it works, bro. Stop.
No.
Stop, bro. Why are you pretending like it's not at the
true.
funnel?
That's not because I'm not funneling people to buy my courses. Yes, there are things that.
Well, but you want, yes, you do. That would be, well, you are, right? You open a new, you want people to go find your, I don't know what you mean by the word funneling, but like you want people to, like I have YouTube memberships, so I would like you to purchase one for $2. That's the lowest amount. It's not bad, guys, just so you know. So, yeah, it's kind of like that. Into these drop shipping courses, which really are like most people are not going to be successful in drop shipping, and it's actually really bad to teach young people that that's what they should do because it's a get rich quick scheme. You should be really apprehensive about that because it's like it's so easy. All you have to do is this, and it's all done for you, and anybody can do it. And you kind of just go into this area where like, wow, I can do something for nothing. It just breeds laziness, realistically speaking. I know I'm fat, guys, but don't worry. I still know how to work a job. So that's kind of the problem there with that. But
when I speak in these podcasts, they are intended to be a little bit more polarizing. You
Well,
probably
then-
do that too.
Whoa,
and that's how you get exposure.
Didn't you accuse me of being polarized?
But that's bad. If you're saying things to be polarizing, you're not a good role model. You shouldn't have to be polarized. What he's saying is that he's trying to say intentionally provocative and antagonistic things for attention. That's what a child does. You shouldn't be trying to do stuff like that.
And that's why I was a bad dude?
So hold on.
You just said you post polarizing content.
No. I'm saying in those instances. Okay, look. If I can't get my thoughts out, I'm going to lose my train of thought. And then if you won't let me finish speaking,
Damn.
I'm just not going to do it anymore. But I want to finish. I want to tell you.
Here's your
Go
answer.
I'm listening.
No, okay. So yes, in order to grow and a faster way to grow, you post content, and if it's controversial, then it goes viral. Sure.
That's disingenuous, like dumb bullshit. Like if you like, that's just not honest. That's part of the bullshit game. Like why would you respect somebody who does stuff like that? That's not really something to respect. I feel like this is not the right way to go. That's not really something to respect.
Is that Sebastian, if you watch my longer form content, and if you watch my podcast throughout, you will see, and now you see as well, interviewing me, that I have a more nuanced perspective on things. And a lot of the time, there's a gray area, there's context. And
I wouldn't say that he has a much. It's not like super nuanced. It's just not what he says is not reflective of actually how he feels. I wouldn't call that nuance. I would just call that lying. It's not really nuanced. It's not very well fleshed out.
I can understand that. So that's just the truth.
Where do I get
People
this other
see
fucking
me
necklace?
And they're like, who is this shithead? They come and watch me on YouTube, and they're like, okay, or whatever. Or they interview me or they watch podcasts, like, okay, he actually is not
People
a
think you're a
shithead. He
shithead?
actually knows a couple of stuff. I'm just using a word.
Do people
Anyway,
think you're a shithead?
So yes, those videos
Do people
go viral.
think you're a
And-
shithead?
Well, no, I don't know, Ethan. I wouldn't imagine they think I'm a shithead.
Because that's
Probably
what you
some people
accuse
do.
me of being a bad guy. People don't like me, and that's people think you're a shithead because you're
So,
controversial.
yes, when we post these
So what's the difference
podcasts,
between what we
people
do?
actually see me for who I am. The difference is when you actually find out who I am,
Right.
I'm a decent person.
Unlike me.
And when people look at you,
Yeah.
yes, unlike you, you're someone
I'm
that
an
spreads
ass.
a ton of hate.
That's the
and
difference.
someone that is not an example to follow.
So the difference between us is that once you get to know both of us, people will learn that you're a great guy and I'm still a piece of shit.
Now that's funny.
But that's what you said.
That's hysterical. You're killing me.
Ethan, I don't think there's anything very inspiring about you.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I've heard that. I've
I'm
heard
sorry,
that before.
but I don't. And maybe I don't know you that well. Maybe there is.
Well, people.
But I don't think that there is.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Listen, let's move on. Right. I don't want to. I don't want to. Here, let's talk about this one.
Well, can we find common ground on something? Is there anything that you agree with?
Sorry. I think there is a lot of common ground. Like we have. I think there's crossover on values, but these are values that's like universal. Like you don't want your partner to call you ugly.
Oh, I was going the right way.
That's not
before.
interesting,
Damn.
right?
That's our common ground.
Well, I'm just making a point. We have lots of common ground, but that's like normal shit, right? And so,
Oops.
I just you're branding. We both have good hairlines. Pull your hairline back. Let me see. That's pretty good hairline.
Good
brother.
hairline. Very good hairline. I'm jealous, Dan. Dan, I'm jealous. Jersey Outlaw's
I'm
jealous
sorry.
of that hairline.
Jimmy has to sit this one out.
Yeah, sorry, Jimmy. He just said you got to sit this one out.
Sorry, Jimmy.
I know. I'll have Olivia blow it down a little bit.
I do
So
want to.
have you? Are you not like Ethan? Is there nothing about what I've done on the internet that you find inspiring at all? Like what I've done for my family, like what I've done for young men, what I've done for people, I've inspired people. Is none of that important to you in any way?
Okay, so how did you make money? Let's start there.
Okay, so I'll tell you, and don't interrupt me, okay? I have a video on this. You can watch it for more detail, but I'll summarize. So when I was in high school, I looked on the internet for ways to make money because, as you know, probably I didn't have any of it myself. So I was the first thing I did was I started working at Taco Bell, and then I started working at a car wash vacuuming cars, and then I started vacuuming cars, and then I got into sales, and then I got into real estate, and then after real estate, I started doing drop shipping. That's where I started drop shipping. So
how do you go from? Wait, hold on. It's just a little weird.
I was the first thing I did was I started working at Taco Bell,
and
then I started working at a car wash vacuuming cars. And
Taco Bell to car wash,
cars, and then I got into sales.
And then getting into sales.
And then I got into real estate. And
then getting into real. How the fuck does that happen? That's 4 jobs.
After real estate, I started doing drop shipping.
That's 5 jobs in like 2 years. That's we. How do you? What does it mean that? It's just like a bizarre that you would go through that many jobs. It sounds like he was looking for like easy money. But okay.
I started drop shipping. So I would start a store, work on it, start another store, work on it, and every store that I started, I became better at it. I became more skilled.
What is drop shipping?
Drop shipping?
Yeah.
You know what drop shipping is.
I just want you to explain what it is. It's when you buy shit from Alibaba and then like resell it on Amazon super marked up, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you buy stuff wholesale and then you sell it somewhere else. You can attach a logo. You can create a brand around it. There's a lot of things you can do. And it doesn't have to be.
So like what he's saying, yes, that is what you do. You buy it and for cheaper and then you stuff on Alibaba is really cheap. That's what you do. So
cheap products. And you know what dropshipping is because you have a brand yourself and you guys source clothing that is not the highest quality clothing and you guys overprice it. So you know very well what this business is and you know how to do it.
You think that my clothing brand is dropshipping?
No, I think that your clothing brand is sourced from China or from wholesale places that are cheaply made with cheap quality, and then you sell it overpriced. People are better off just going to H&M at the mall and buying clothes there.
So and plus, what you do
also,
I think the difference is that maybe. I mean, I don't really care. So
hold on. When I was watching the video on you, there was a person that was also comparing your designs, and you guys were stealing tons and tons and tons of designs from other brands, which in the past you have also criticized other people of doing. So that's another way that you're a hypocrite because you literally say people shouldn't steal designs from brands, you knocked dropshipping. You knocked dropshipping because you said that people sell shitty shit from Alibaba and they overprice it, but you literally do the same thing with your brand, Teddy Fresh, and I'm pretty sure that's a pretty.
Yeah, I think the difference is that like I think that there is a bit of a difference between finding random knickknacks on Alibaba, which would be like me going to like the dollar store and then reselling it to you for 5 times the price versus having a bit of a brand on the clothing. I did watch some stuff with Ethan. It seems like some of his designs may not necessarily be his own designs. People might have gotten inspired by other things. He seems to have a team, or I guess Ela does because it's her business, that tries to find new designs, and sometimes they may end up taking or stealing designs. I'd say that there's a level of responsibility. It doesn't seem to be as widespread as people keep saying, considering how many different things that they operate with. But yeah, sure. That's something to keep in mind. So yeah, okay. A little different from drop shipping.
Pretty significant source of revenue for you. So I really think it makes you look bad when you say that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm going to continue telling my story.
No. Well, come on. Don't be silly. Now I'm going to respond to that. Yeah, so I just want to go back to where this conversation started. You talk about context and how stupid it is to express an opinion without knowing what the fuck you're talking about.
Sure. Okay. Fine.
No. You watched one hater video about how we steal designs and shit, but you've never heard me talk about that, right?
No, I
did.
This is all I know from it.
Okay, cool. So that's not a very well-informed opinion.
Okay, tell me. Where do you get your clothes from?
So first of all, you say that Teddy Fresh is drop shipped. You say we buy it.
No, I didn't say that. Well, hold on. I just said that I didn't say that.
What? I know you said
you know what dropshipping is because you do it with Teddy Fresh. Yeah. You literally just said that.
Yeah.
No.
No. You just said
you know what dropshipping.
That's a fact.
Okay, that's not what I meant.
Okay.
So you know what dropshipping is because you've explained it, and you know what dropshipping is. You explained it when you were criticizing me, and you do e-commerce, which is very similar to dropshipping.
All e-commerce is dropshipping. That's crazy. So listen,
do you have like is the speaker? Are the speakers not working?
No, they work. I just think it's awesome that you speak confidently without knowing anything, which is something you criticize people for. Like
no.
Teddy Fresh. How do you think we make Teddy Fresh?
I will say something. I will say something, and you guys will take the most like absolute wrong. Like you'll perceive it in the most.
Yeah, he's saying they're bad faithing him. He literally said that they drop ship, so he's getting upset. Like they asked him what drop shipping is because they just wanted to see what he was going to say. It's a pretty common tactic. Like, what is this thing to you? And what this thing does to me is fucking lagging, baby. That's a pretty like normal thing for people to do. Like whatever. And then he got offended because they interpreted his words the way he said them. I think that if you're having a problem with miscommunication, maybe some of that. Maybe take a little accountability for yourself and understand where like you might be wrong. Okay, I think I need to get a little further. I'm gonna die here though.
Straightforward, absolute way, which is so like what you're doing is just trying as hard as you can to make me look stupid and bad. It's in a form of debate, and it's not like, look, I'm not here to do this. I'm here to share opinions.
You just said we make low quality content. How does our how is it? Bro,
okay, where do you get it from?
You literally just said that.
Ethan, I said yes. Where do you get your clothes from? Do you not source it from cheap countries? Where do you get it from, please? If you don't tell me, where?
Let me do you think that
tell me.
good products can be made outside the United States? Is it possible?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so what's your point?
Answer me the question. Where do you
We source it from all over the world.
Where do you source your clothes?
All over the world.
Where's most of it come from?
A lot of it's made in China, yeah.
Okay, great. Sure, that's where most
not
of
American.
the products are made from.
Why
Chinese
is that the same thing?
Un-American.
Because you are just Alibaba is Chinese products. You're not.
How do you think we make our clothes? How do you think we make our clothes?
Oh my gosh.
No, seriously, how do you think we make our clothes? Tell me.
I think that you steal designs from other companies and you source products from Chinese countries.
I doubt that most of the designs are
stolen. And you said it yourself.
But...
I'm quoting you. You said that that's what they do with dropshipping, and then they ridiculously mark it up. That's also what you do. Your clothing is ridiculously marked up, and your wife has said that it should be worth more. When in reality, it's not. It's just cheap clothing. There's nothing that special about it.
Let me tell you about Teddy Fresh. We have 30 employees, a huge design team. We design everything in the studio, in our building. We source it. We mock it up. It's all original designs. We decide on the fabrics.
It's not all original designs. It's not.
Well, you're wrong. Well, you're wrong. They are all original designs, and you watch one hater's video doesn't give you an informed opinion to speak that confidently about it. We design it right in every detail. We do rounds of testing and stuff. It starts in a mock, and we work with some of the best manufacturers in the world, the same people that make Supreme
great. So you source your products from China. Dropshipping, a lot of dropshipping comes from China. Great. So you're knocking it, but you do exactly that. And then also, like I was trying to say,
is Apple dropship their phones? Does Apple dropship iPhones? Does Apple?
Like I was trying to say,
does Apple dropship iPhones? Does Apple dropship iPhones?
Look, all right.
Stop it.
No, seriously. No, does Apple dropship iPhones?
I mean, this is completely unproductive because like the potential similarities are kind of irrelevant because I see what they're saying. They both get a product from somewhere and they rebrand it and they sell it off. There's probably more rebranding with Teddy Fresh. It's more of a clothing line. Getting materials from a different place is different from getting an entirely finished product, right? We understand that. It's not uncommon to get shirts from other places and then resell them with your own brand on. People enjoy buying brands, and it is different from something like Alibaba where you're literally just buying like cool gun lighters and then selling them for 5 times the price. It is significant. It is pretty much different. Either way, it doesn't really matter because there's a difference between doing something and advocating for how everybody can do it, and it's so easy. I don't think that Ethan would sit here and be like, guys, this is so fucking easy to do. All you got to do is become a millionaire YouTuber that gets millions of views and followers, and then you can also make your own designs and you could sell them. And you could where this guy is trying to sell you snake oil by saying like this is super practical and realistic and everybody could do it. There's a bit of a difference here. I swear to God, if there's nothing else up here, I'm gonna fucking fart in my own fucking pants. What am I supposed to do here?
No, Apple.
What's the difference between what we do? What's the difference between what I do and Apple does? Because their shit's made in China.
What the fuck?
Ethan,
he's done.
No,
I think
your brand is overpriced.
Based on what information is it overpriced?
What the fuck?
People can go to H&M and get similar style clothing for way cheaper.
So
for Forever 21, you sell hoodies for $100. You sell t-shirts for $40.
Is there any hoodie worth buying? Have you ever bought a nice hoodie before?
Okay,
so
this is all that I'm trying to say.
There we go, baby.
Personal things about my business and my wife's business. So I'm in full.
You have to be protective as a man.
I'm in a full right place. As a man, I'm protecting my wife's business. As a man,
Ethan,
and it's not just about muscle.
I'm showing you how it's wrong of you to criticize something that you
I didn't even criticize it. I think it's funny you think I'm criticizing. I just explained it.
You said it's a scam.
I never said that.
You said it. You did when you criticized me.
An alternate reality.
You said that
dropshipping is a scam.
You said that when you criticized me. Go watch the video on me. I can't believe you forgot this. I just watched it 2 hours ago. You said dropshipping is a scam because you source things from China and then you sell them overpriced, and that's exactly what you do.
Why are they overpriced?
How can you not see your own hypocrisy? You're literally being the biggest fucking hypocrite right now. It's incredible.
Why is Teddy Fresh overpriced?
Okay.
Have you ever bought a nice hoodie before?
Well, Teddy Fresh probably is overpriced, but they're selling explicitly a brand. Like a t-shirt is explicitly a brand. Although then also there's a brand on it of Teddy Fresh, but then there's also like the clothing themselves. So whatever, you're buying overpriced clothing. I do think, again, that's different than selling. Do I go down here or no? I think it's a little bit different than finding, again, like some silly gun lighter on Alibaba and going like, oh, look, I think it's profoundly different. Am I supposed to go this way? Because I feel like I'm not. I feel like I just shit myself. Wait, let me see. But okay. Let's keep moving.
Okay.
Have you ever bought a piece?
It's overpriced.
Based on
for the
what?
type of clothing that it is.
Have you ever touched it? Have you ever touched it? Have you ever looked at it? Do you know anything about it?
Ethan, I would never pay $100 for a design that was 99% inspired from something else that's sourced from whatever manufacturer. You guys are in the business of making as much profit as you possibly can, I would imagine. Okay? You're knocking something that you do. You're just a giant hypocrite.
All right,
Sure.
we're not getting anywhere, but I will say that
Let me finish my story.
Well, let me just say, because as a man, I need to defend my wife's company. Our hoodies are super high quality. They're made to last. They're made by the same manufacturers that make stuff like Palace, Supreme, and all the top brands. It's actually not super profitable because we put so much work into the materials and the crafts. Our margins are way less than our contemporaries, other brands, streetwear products, because they actually charge more for the same type of product that's made in the same factory. But because we know that we don't want to mark it up too much on our customer, we take it at less of a margin. In fact, we're operating.
Well, that's nice, if that's
we
true.
operated on a loss last month because we wanted to take our time and spend more time on the design process and getting our processes in order with our 30 employees. So we did take a loss last month because we wanted to take our time and get things going organized in an efficient way, like an alpha male would.
Great. So what I'll do is I'll buy one of these hoodies. I'll buy one of your hoodies. I'll have it shipped here and I'll check it out and then I'll DM you. I'll let you know what I think about it. But
okay, cool.
It sounds like you're going to have some great quality clothing.
Thanks,
Katie,
bro.
can you buy one of Ethan Klein's hoodies for me? Thank you.
Thanks,
All
bro.
right,
Ethan, you're not going to offer to give us one for free?
So I got into dropshipping and then I started doing e-commerce, which is where you create brands and you develop like a whole identity around it and it becomes a more involved, serious thing. And then once I started to build up some capital, I started just posting my journey on YouTube. I was like, yo guys, I grew up super poor. There was one point in my life where my mom couldn't even afford to pay electricity. It was always very, very bad, thrifting clothes. And now I figured out a way to make some money on the internet. This is what I'm doing. So as I was learning dropshipping and e-com, growing my skill sets, my YouTube channel was growing in tandem with me. And then I built up capital and I started getting into like trading and I started doing like investing into stocks and cryptos and et cetera. And then my YouTube channel grew and grew. And
yeah, so most of the way that he got his money is from like a lot, unfortunately, like a lot of luck, like stocks, cryptos, e-trading, shit like this, drop shipping. These are things that most people can't do. I think that by itself, that's really cool. And I think that if you wanted to have people do that, that's really cool. But for the most part, it's not going to be accessible to everybody, which seems to be his message that like, you can do it too. You probably can. It's not going to, and the biggest issue that I have with what he's saying is when he criticize people that get jobs. If he's just like, yeah, this is what he should be saying. Hey, listen, it can be really difficult. It's like it could be, if you work really hard, you can get it, but it's a little bit luck based, frankly. Good for you. But if you said it was luck based, you have to acknowledge that, that was luck based. But most people should probably get regular jobs, maybe gravitate towards like a trade job, something that actually provides value into the world instead of just reselling cool gun lighters. And that is a lighter that looks like a gun, by the way, and they are cool. That would be fine. But he criticizes people who get jobs. It's very terminally online behavior. It sounds like this guy wanted to get successful very easily, and he seems to have done that. And he doesn't really seem to work particularly hard. I'm not trying to be rude, but get a real guys. You should go get real jobs that benefit society, and not try to basically scam people. Sell them like a fucking pipe dream that they can just do. They can make a ton of money for doing nothing while they pay you for some kind of an online course to teach you how to do a particular thing. That's really what it boils down to. It's selling a dream, and it's selling a dream of laziness, frankly. And frankly, I know that I'm being lazy right now. All I do is play video games on the computer, but I got lucky. Like, you're probably not gonna be able to do this. Like, I was going to school for computer science after this while I was working a full-time job as like a fucking manager at a bus company. So just be apprehensive about these people. So.
I started a marketing agency, basically just running Google ads for brands. That's what I referenced earlier.
What the fuck is this place?
I texted my CMO today, has generated $50 million in sales for its clients. And we've worked with $1 billion clients, some brands that you're definitely aware of, working with their marketing. So we've done that. And then I continue to trade and invest. I did very, very well with trading.
Did he get that money for them, or is that like how much money those companies made consulting? Whatever. I don't really care.
Very, very well with investing. And then, of course, the YouTube channel grew. We had an initiative to grow my personal brand and get super big because we wanted to give back. That free course that I mentioned is called Discover TikTok Dropshipping. It's like a brochure style. It's not the most detailed thing, but it's a good thing to watch if you're not sure if you want to get into dropshipping or not. It'll teach you the basics. And so the idea is hey, if you like this, you can watch this, and there's good information in here. Based on this information, if you don't like it, then you can go a different way.
Who's the best
and that's free.
Near you?
Sebastian, are you a multimillionaire?
Hold on. Yes, hold on. So
that's what I thought.
Yes, and then that's what basically there's affiliate links.
We can learn.
Listen, I want to let you talk, but I don't need you to explain what affiliate marketing is.
Okay, so yeah, we did that, and now that's doing very, very well. And then yesterday, because we have 188,000
the only thing you're inspiring me to do is fall asleep right now. Bro.
You're going to be funnier than me, so I'm getting a little jealous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does have more wisdom than me.
Your monologue.
I mean, you should listen. No, I'm telling you my story. I mean, you should listen to me. I've done very.
It's inspiring.
Well, he's not necessarily telling a story. He's kind of just droning on, trying. He's doing this as like a mini sales pitch.
Well, for myself, your company took a loss last month.
It is inspiring. You know who else made a lot of money? Jeffrey Epstein.
Clearly not. Okay, so yeah.
But I'm saying that inherently is it's nice that you did that, but it's not enough.
Your examples are so bad. I can't believe you're comparing me to these terrible people.
I'm not saying that you do what Jeffrey Epstein.
Sebastian, how many homes do you have?
So anyway, I did that.
What kind of questions is that?
Are boring, and if it's not interesting, then that's fine.
Let me ask you. Can I please ask you one thing? Who's a better salesman, me or you?
What do you mean? Who's a better salesman?
Why ask the question?
Do you think you're a good salesman?
Okay.
What I don't give me. What do you mean, salesman in terms of what?
No, I'm not trying. It's not
selling yourself.
Yeah,
Selling a car,
yeah.
Selling a, like,
selling
which
yourself.
one?
You know,
What?
selling yourself. Because obviously.
Okay.
I'm not trying.
Well, Ethan, I don't think you really even sell yourself. I think that you just make broad content that appeals to a broad audience, and that's why you have
he makes content for broads, guys. What a fucking asshole, am I right?
Do you really think you're a good salesman?
Yeah, big broad content.
No, I don't know why you're asking me this question.
Because I just fucking sold your ass a hoodie, bitch.
There it is.
So who's more alpha?
There you go, Big Dan. There it is, Big Dan.
Hey,
I
guess he's got.
I know. Yeah, I know. You don't have to buy it. It's still funny.
I guess he got it.
I'm going to contribute, try to make your business profitable this month because my life, this is what I want.
He has so much money.
That was funny.
Ethan, I want everyone.
That was funny.
I want everyone to do better in life.
40
I want
hoodies.
everyone to be.
You're a multi-millionaire. You could buy his company.
Jimmy.
Sebastian Fresh.
He's the outlier.
I'm the Jersey Outlaw.
He's out of control. Sorry, I apologize.
Listen to me.
I had to say.
Listen to me.
So stupid.
I want everyone to do the best that they can possibly do in their life, and
I
I know
know.
that.
I want you all to fail.
I want you to make more money. I want your company to be profitable. I want you to
fail, bitch.
I want you to lose weight. I want you to be happy. I want you to be the best version that you can possibly be. I don't care that we disagree on everything. I don't care that you brought me on here and you're trying to make me look dumb and it's not working. I still want the best for you, and that's
looks a little silly.
Better salesman than you.
That's what I want.
I also.
So I'm just letting you know.
I wish the same for you. I'm not wishing harm for you. My thesis is that you are putting out, I think, harmful ideologies in tandem with Andrew Tate. You're riding that wave of red pilling, and I think it's really bad what you're doing. You also called me dumb and the worst person in the world, but we already went over that. We walked that back, so that's fine. But this is what I'm saying, and we can get back to that if you want, because I do think there's interesting things like Andrew Tate. I'd love to discuss with you because I know you're a fan.
No,
of
I'm not red pill at all, and I wouldn't say I'm a conservative. I don't care.
Oh, well, he's operating in the red pill. This guy is like weirdly pretending to be red pill then, because everything he's doing emulates red pill. Like, what is he talking about? Okay.
Too much about politics. I literally just want to do my own thing, and I want the best for me and my family.
Yeah,
and everyone else in the world. That's all. I just want to be left alone. I don't want you to tell me that my kids have to be gay. I want you to just leave me alone. That's all. I can raise my own kids.
I'm not conservative, but I don't want you to tell me my kids have to be gay. I don't think I've ever heard a more conservative phrase in my entire life. That's funny though. Yeah, don't tell my kids they have to be gay either. They can just do what they want. If you want to be gay straight out. I don't fucking care. But that communicates to me that he thinks that there is a public hive mind trying to make your kids gay and tell them they have to be gay, which is not happening. Okay, conservatives are very focused on LGBTQ shit obsessively. They don't focus on anything else. It's not like they have like, oh, we have a little bit of a focus on some gay stuff, and then we're talking about other policies. That's the only policy they have is don't be gay, and then like anti-Ukraine, pro-Russia, weird fucking bullshit. So like, yeah, he's a little more conservative, a little more manosphere. That's a little bit of red pill to push this idea that the LGBTQ is feminizing men. And ruining society, despite the fact that what's really, hurting young men is their fathers not being there. And this guy doesn't subscribe to this part, but when you have an entire ideology that advocates for cheating on women and, having sex with as many women as possible and only finding value in young girls that just turned 18 and are hairless and dumb, yeah, you're probably not helping create a generation of fathers. So
you think people want your kids gay?
No, I'm just saying I don't want to get into this because I'm Frank. I don't enjoy arguing with you because you're very frustrating. I'm just saying I want to be left alone. That's my point.
Okay. He doesn't want you to make your kids
gay. You want to be left alone. What does that mean?
It means I don't want people to tell me like that I have to
be whatever.
That my kids have to be gay or I don't know.
Who's saying that though?
Saying that, right? Nobody's saying that. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
If I were to send my kids to public school, I don't want for my 6-year-old to be exposed to a book talking about like gay sex or.
But that's not.
But that's never happening, right? At all. So there does seem like there might be a very limited instances of inappropriate books for people in high school, right? You're 6 years old. Well, maybe his kids are really smart and they would go to high school at 6, but I'm going to assume that they're just going to be a little average or maybe just slightly above average and not, Dexter's Laboratory intelligent. That's just not happening. So the fact that you're just talking, you look like an idiot. Now there was like a book that was a little bizarre that the book was supposed to be about like somebody, as a memoir about somebody. It was an 18+ memoir, and for some reason it was in like a school library in a few limited libraries. I believe it was school libraries. That's a problem for sure. Your 6-year-old isn't having this issue. I think there might have been like one teacher that's told students they had to look at the book as part of their lesson, which is wrong, obviously. But it's not this thing that's happening to the degree that you are pretending that it is. And so, like, this is the problem. Nobody's telling your kid they have to be gay. Fuck, I didn't even do that. When it comes down to it, in like that age, the only thing your kid might be exposed to is they might have a gay teacher with a picture of their spouse on there. And if your kid goes like, "Oh, why are you married to a boy?" That your kid should be able to handle the answer of like, "Oh, I'm gay." Like, that's not that big of a deal. It's really not that. It's not that deep. So this guy is very susceptible to what's going on. Oh, I just jump over it. Wow, fucking awesome. This guy's very susceptible to fear mongering, which is, I'm not surprised. God bless, man.
Is it? That is happening.
Not happening at all.
That is happening. Look it up. I'm sure there's a book that went viral for like it was in elementary schools, and it wasn't teaching kids about like sex. You seem to have a really, I just don't want that.
Yeah.
That's not true. It wasn't in elementary schools. Okay, I'm sorry. He's talking about like this gender, but I just went over the whole thing. Like, stop, please stop. It's not this widespread thing. It's an 18+ book. It says that on Amazon. It slipped through the cracks. Not good, but people are like they're being insane about it. They don't even look into it when you're talking about it. It's silly.
You have a really good grasp on the topic,
on reality,
because you're prepared to homeschool your kids because of some anecdote that you telling me to look up.
Bro,
fuck me. Do you have any other specifics to guide my research?
You can just look it up. I'm sure it's easy to find.
Okay, can you guys look it up? Is there an epidemic of 6-year-olds learning about sex?
It's specifically a book that is teaching kids to be gay.
Are you referring to the books in Dearborn, Michigan?
Dearborn? Is it just something?
No, I know you're from Detroit. That's why I asked.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. I forget the name of the book. It's a gender book. What the fuck is the book's name? Somebody gay in the chat tell me what the book's name is.
Hold on. No, I didn't. I've never seen this in person. I've only seen this on the internet. So
okay.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
There's a lot of people who are scared. I've heard that point before. It's like, I don't want my kids to go to public school and then like they become gay. They get tricked to become gay or trans or something. And you say that there was a 6-year-old's learning about gay sex or something, and it's ruining society. So let's look into that.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. No, I did not say that.
He definitely implied that. Yeah, he has to stop. Like, he's kind of a pussy. He keeps double speaking. It's very childish. I'm see if I can find a book name in this thing, because we just talked about it like yesterday. So I want to, not yesterday, actually like 3 days ago. I just posted a video about it today. That's what I meant to say. It was like the Tim Pool and Destiny had like a conversation about this was part of it. He's referring to Georgia parenting, reading sexual content. I have to see if I can find it. I'll see if I can look it up.
Said it was ruining society. You're just like, oh my god, this is so frustrating.
Hold on.
You take.
Okay.
You take one piece of information from what I've said, and then you create like this absolute version, the absolute wrong version
of what I said. Can I play something for you?
It's
that's
so
related.
frustrating.
Let me play something that's related.
I was standing and I just overheard some kids talking loudly.
Okay, really quick. Banned book by Maya Kobabe on genderqueer. Yeah, so it's called Genderqueer, and it's a memoir. This is the book they're referring to. And it's inappropriate. It's got graphic images. There's a butthole spread. But if you look it up on Amazon, it's supposed to be for 18+. So it seems like this got into some libraries, or I don't care about libraries, because libraries can have, there's a difference between a school library and a regular library. And I don't think it was ever clear whether it was a school library or a regular library. But some kids got, like, I don't even know if they got exposed to it. It happened to be in there. I think it was in a very, like, one teacher limited curriculum. It wasn't even crazy. It's not it's one of those things where if I saw it, I'd be like, hey, can we remove this from the school library, please? Or not let anybody rent it if they're under 18. And that would be what I would say. And if the teacher like told my 16-year-old to look at it, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna do a hard pass. And that's as far as I'd go. If you make your gay book, I don't really give a shit. And people are having disproportionate meltdowns because, again, this seems to be a lot of he said he's not a conservative, but clearly he is susceptible to the hate, the fear mongering of that. So yeah.
They were talking about something transgender, something gay. I got up and I talked to them, and they were like 16, 17, and I asked them, I just have a question. How many people are gay at your school? Like, how many people are in the LGBT community, would you say? And one kid immediately said like 60%. And I was like, oh, and the kid's like, no, he's exaggerating. And then it's probably like 35, 40%. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Like almost half? And they're like almost half are transgender or gay. And I'm like, bro, I graduated high school like 4 years ago, and there was like 3 gay. What happened?
So guys, just so you know, if this story, first of all, this is the same story as like those stories where those like super liberal moms go on there and they're like, Donald Trump was on TV and my 2.5-year-old articulated a full sentence about how bad Trump is and he's racist and blah, blah, blah. That's what that is. I doubt that this is even true. But even if it is, I don't care if some kid says, yeah, I think like 35% of the people in school are gay. it's a kid. Kids are dumb. Like, this kid doesn't know shit about dick. I'm not gonna trust I'm not gonna trust a child. Yeah, I think this thing. Now, you could look at some statistics, and it seems like in California, there's a pretty high identification rate of, like, for LGBTQ youth, and that could, I think it's upwards of 20%. I don't remember this exact statistic. It might be like a younger generation, and that has a lot to do with the different things. One of those things is that people feel comfortable to identify without getting beaten in the home, which is something that still happens in southern states and even some northern states. Some of those people might just be experimenting with whatever identification that they are. Some of them might just be a little trending. They might just think it's cool. There are, like, girls in my school who would be like, we're bisexual, and kiss in front of everybody for attention. It's not like this horrible epidemic that we're experiencing, but it's not fucking 35 or 60%. Like, you're being a silly goose. You're being a very silly goose right now.
Yes.
By the way, this is from last year. It says, what the F is happening with gay people? 10 years ago, everyone called them F words, the F slur for gay people in high school. And today, 1 in 6 high schoolers claim to be gay.
Wow. I've missed when we used to be able to call gay people the actual bigoted slurs, guys. Fucking based.
1 in 6, so yeah, it's continuing. More and more people.
So do you miss the days when we could call gay people, the F word?
No, I just think it's surprising. I think it's...
That's what's communicated to me. That you're kind of supporting calling gay people the F slur. Like, I miss the all. It's crazy, guys. Back in the 1800s, we're calling black people the N word, and now, like, black people are just at the fucking grocery store. I have to see them everywhere. You would probably assume that I'm not a big fan of black people, right? I love black people, by the way, guys. I love black people. All right, write that down. It sounds like he's not a big fan of gay people. Okay, that's nice.
Crazy that that's happened. It's been such a popular trend lately.
Yeah, but that's not true either, is it? It's not 1 in 6.
No, it is. It is.
Really?
I've talked to my cousins that are in high school. I've talked to my cousins in high school. I've talked to strangers that were in high school that go to my school, and a lot of people liked that video and commented on it and said the same thing. I mean, it's a lot more people are gay and transgender these days than before. And I thought,
yes, that's true. But like 1 in 6, like he just asked for your source, and you said like my friends. Like that's not really a very good source. I guess I could find the California statistic. I guess we have to do the research for this guy. Let's see. NBC News survey: 20% of millennials identify as LGBTQ. Oh, that's fucking millennials. Aren't I a millennial? How old are millennials? How old are millennials? So 23 to 38. It's in 2019, at least. That's the statistic? That's not even kids. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Wait, hold on. Yeah, let's see. U.S. adult age last number partially has the pros. 20% of young people responded LGBTQ. Notable increase from 12% of generations. Okay, so apparently LGBTQ identifications are going up. 7% in the baby boomer generation. All right, whatever. Okay, whatever. I thought it was kids. Apparently, it's just old people like myself. So he's talking. Yeah, hey guys, I talked to a lot of high schoolers. I personally wouldn't say that phrase. Let me see something. Let's see if we can do this. Wait, is this the right one? I talked to a lot of high schoolers, guys. I talked to a lot of high schoolers. I talked to a lot of high schoolers. I talk to a lot of high schoolers. My friends, my family, children in high school. They tell me about their sexuality and sexual preferences. I love talking to children. Do you want to have a conversation with me too? Buy my course in drop shipping. Drop your parents and just associate with me. So that's the vibe I'm getting from what Wow. That was creepy. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Wow. Well, how do you guys feel about that? Damn. That was a hell of a moment. That was a hell of a moment, guys. Oh my god. I haven't done clips in a while, but I almost might want to clip that. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's continue.
It was surprising that there's such 30% or more sometimes. There was such a spike in it.
Sometimes.
Which I thought was crazy and surprising considering gay people can't reproduce. So it's interesting to see that there's such a spike in it. And I was curious about it.
Well, LGBTQ doesn't make them gay. It could be gay, bisexual, lesbian, non-binary, trans in some capacity. It's a culmination of like 1,000 different identities, right? We have to understand this.
The obvious answer would be that it's becoming more acceptable to come out of the closet.
Part of it, sure.
Yeah, it's becoming more acceptable and it's becoming more of a trend, and more people are saying like, "Hey, this is whatever."
I think that maybe parts of it can be a trend, sure, and that's unfortunately it can invalidate some people, who genuinely identify. But also, I think that we should look at everything and not just cherry pick one aspect of it. Say, "Oh, dude, are you fucking shitting my ball?" Okay.
I think it's also becoming more acceptable, but it's more of a trend now.
You said it's not genetic, sexuality is programmed. I wasn't into girls when I was 12 weeks old, right? I mean, you're a baby. Why would you want to fuck women at 12 weeks?
It's genetic, it's not sexuality is programmed.
If a baby human was kept in a white room until he turned 18, he wouldn't have a sexuality. I think he'd be fucking brain dead.
Oh, so this guy is just kind of unintelligent. So listen, when it comes to being gay, I'm sure there's an environmental impact. I always talk about how I think that sexuality is a spectrum, and I think that based on the way that you're raised, it could have an influence, right? So I think everybody lies somewhere on the spectrum, from anywhere from gay to straight, and based on the way you're raised, you might shift a little bit towards the gay side or a little towards the straight side. But it's not this drastic thing where you can go from being fully straight to fucking gay. The only maybe in prison where it's like there's no women. But ultimately, a lot of it boils down to there is genetic aspects to it. And there's also hormone washing in the womb. I'm going to go find this video. But there was an excellent video that I watched asking why people are gay. And there's a trend that's found out that the more men that a woman has, babies, the higher chance that they are gay. This is observed across all cultures and whatnot. And it's interesting because it seems to be a biological necessity for gay people, which is most likely that they take care of other people. They disproportionately adopt, which was them adopting what would be considered unwanted children in society, which is unfortunate. Or they generate resources by working and they give it to their the kids of their nieces and nephews and et cetera, or they're not the kids of them, but their nieces and nephews. So it's a very interesting phenomenon. There are biological and genetic markers to these things. So what's up, Bakrell? Speak for yourself, Pop. I do it with the homies all the time. Exactly. Just a little sussy behavior. So this is just incorrect. I would recommend that this guy does a little bit of research on anything other than drop shipping, or just don't talk about things because clearly you're trying to be provocative, and that's the thing. He said before, I'm just trying to be provocative. It's like loser shit. So yeah, yeah. I wonder if I can find my video on this.
He would just be an animal. Yeah, no. Yeah, it would just be straight limbic system.
There's homosexual. There's gay behavior in animal kingdoms. I think like rams have a 9%. They're like 9% of rams, like male sheep, are gay, and this is studying when they have a choice between fucking or engaging with a boy versus a girl. So like we see homosexuality in the wild. It's a real thing. What makes someone gay? This is the video. I found it. I'll put that in the description. I should put my reaction to it in the description, but I'll just put it in the description.
Well, there's actually studies, right, of when there was like a wolf girl or something who wasn't exposed, or she was kept in a basement or something, and she lost the ability to speak. So of course they wouldn't have any sexuality.
Well, there was actually they tried to do the study and it had to stop because they didn't give any interaction to the children, and the children would just die even though they were getting enough food or air. Like they just needed affection and love, so the study couldn't even be finished. I looked it up. So it's too like inhumane.
So you say
I tweeted that. I tweeted that because people think they're born gay, and I don't think they're born gay.
So people are not.
Well, unfortunately, I think that it's a higher chance that you're wrong. So you should probably speak while knowing stuff. Yeah, here we go. Found it. What makes people gay? I'm gonna put this in the description. I'm gonna put my video in the description. You want to watch it, my reaction to it, or you could just go look at the core. Should be in the description. Whatever. Let's go.
Gay. They choose to be gay.
I don't think people are born gay. Yeah, I think that they
Yeah, so just choose to be gay. Like like just choose to take dick in your head. Oh, I don't like that. Well, what do you mean? Like nobody chooses to be gay. Why would you like? No offense, but why the fuck would you choose to be oppressed? Yeah, I would choose, like not for nothing. I would if I could choose to not be gay, I would just not be gay. I would try not to be gay, because like you get oppressed for being gay. Why would anybody choose to be fucking gay? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like the logic doesn't logic. Oh, your mother is a very nice woman. Holy moly.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And so why would someone want to choose that? Especially if you go back like 20 years ago, right? Like, or like, 50 years ago. If you go back all the way.
Do you know, Ethan, why I read on that a long time ago? It's guys that don't have tight relationships with their father, from what I remember.
They end up gay?
Right. That's one of the...
Jimmy...
What? Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's back it up a little.
It's a little bit of a bad thing to say. I don't think he's trying to be disrespectful. So that is some people will talk about it's not just having a bad relationship with your father. More than anything else, it's having too close of a relationship with your mother is the stereotype. And if you look at it, the stereotype can actually go both ways. Just like some gay people, which is bisexual. The argument is that having too much of a relationship with your mother can make you gay, or, and this is like a more common hypothesis, is that gay boys are more feminine and thus prefer relationships with their mother, which makes a little bit more sense. And I think you should be a little bit more, that's probably more likely. Keep that in mind. So yeah,
a little bit there.
No, I remember as a kid. I remember as a kid.
No, I mean it's okay. It's not like
I didn't mean anything bad by it, but a commonality I saw from when I was in my 20s, because I was never gay, was like...
Jimmy,
did I say something bad?
I'm just trying to help you.
Okay, then I'm not going to say anything. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
That's just what I remember.
I'm going to go take a piss.
All right, go ahead. I want to unpack this with you.
This guy's diabetes? It would be nice, and like it's, if Ethan knew what I just said, to recontextualize it. Because this guy doesn't mean bad at all. Like, but it's good. Like, then we could have a nice conversation about it. Or he could have. So it would have been good if we knew that.
Dude, this is interesting. I haven't peed once.
Second pee. Yeah, he's on his second pee right now.
Yeah, what is he, diabetes?
Oh, who's that? Beta.
How much longer do you keep him on? Is he your whole
Oh, that creatine.
I didn't expect it to go this long, but this is great. I'm enjoying it.
He says that this was going to be a life-changing experience for you. Do you think it's life-changing so far? Have you seen the light?
I'm trying. Yeah. I'm looking at the light, but it's too bright.
Yeah.
It's too bright.
Too bright. Shine bright like a diamond. Damn, we're getting nay-nayed.
So,
who's that?
Any good movies lately?
No.
These glasses have changed my life.
Okay, so check this out. Here, I want to hit you with something about the gay thing.
Okay. Okay, Ethan, let's talk for 14 more minutes, and then I have to go. So that's
fair. That's fair. So listen, left-handed people, the amount of left-handed people back in the day was really low. Because people with left-handed were seen as inferior, and they were forced to use the right hand more often. But as it became more acceptable and people realized left-handed people weren't demons, then the amount of left-handed people increased. And it became steady at what, like 10% or something?
12%.
12% is left-handed.
He could probably argue and be like, well, it's not steadying out. There seems to be higher higher LGBT or higher rates of being LGBTQ in society nowadays. Yeah. I mean, like, listen, I think that they're like, listen, if I was born today, I would not be gay. I'd never be gay. I might, there's a possibility that I might like be more bisexual in some capacity, So it's possible that there's like more people just identifying as bisexual. They would have been gay. And so maybe like that would be part of it too. Or they would be straight. So
it went up astronomically all of a sudden.
What did it go for? From what to what? From what percent to 12%?
It went from about 3% to 12%, so a fourfold increase.
So 4 times. Wow. Interesting.
And people don't. Would you say people choose to be left-handed?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, but that'd be silly. Why would you choose to be left-handed? Just
I don't know.
Thing.
I think. They could choose to be left-handed, or maybe they. I don't know. Maybe.
Can I ask you, if you go back, what was the Turing guy who invented? He invented computers.
Alan Turing.
Yeah, he was a closeted gay man, and when he came out, he was like lobotomized and ostracized. And so why would someone like that choose to be gay? I wonder.
I don't know. They felt that it was who they truly were inside, probably, and that's where they felt comfortable.
So wait, if it's someone,
that's not choosing to be gay, though, right? That's like it's like choosing your taste buds, I guess. It's not really choosing to be gay. What the fuck, you bitch! I'm gonna shit my pants and come and fart. That's just like living your authentic self. Like now we're into the argument of like you could like you can't choose to be gay, but you can choose not to act on your gay urges. Is now what we're getting at. But okay. This guy's just kind of. This guy's just like a constant walk back. It's just fucking pathetic. Holy moly.
Yeah, maybe.
If somebody's being true to their inner self, how is that a choice?
How is it not? I mean, they're deciding that this is the way that they're going to express like who they really are. This is the
No, there's a difference between choosing to have the feelings versus choosing to express them. Like, yeah, if your argument is that they're choosing not to express that they're gay, but that's precisely the point that Ethan's making, right? Is that they feel comfortable being happy. This guy's ridiculous. I fucking love it. Holy shit. Wow.
This is what they're going to do.
Do you choose every day to be attracted to women?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay, so then.
Yeah, I don't think I'm just naturally attracted to women.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So do I need to connect the dots, or you got it?
This is stupid. Dude, this is
Let me
pissing
think
me
about
off.
it. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me collect my thoughts.
No one's ever challenged me on any perspective I've ever had in my entire life. In my astounding 24 years. So I need a second to think about this very basic talking point that you're asking me here, Ethan. Incredible.
It's all good. Take your time. Because you're so close. You said
The thing is, I wasn't born straight though. Like going back to the tweet, it's something that I've developed, and now that I'm mature in it and I'm secure in my attraction to women. I wasn't born being attracted to women. I wasn't born with the sexuality.
You weren't born with a sex drive, and you weren't born with that's what we call puberty when you start to evolve hormonally. That doesn't mean that you weren't born gay or straight. It's not like you were born a blank slate. It's not like we're born amorphous blobs. Hey, guy, when I was born, we were all just a fucking gray blob. And then your mom was like, I want this kid to have fucking dirty blonde hair. And just all of a sudden, we're creating a fucking sim. People are born with base desires. That's why there's people that are born with mental health issues, objectively speaking, that can't be identified. There are people who are born with sociopathic behaviors, but they weren't born with a murderous intent. It's like these things, these conditions were activated as different hormones started to funnel into them through puberty in many cases as they got older. It's like, what are you talking about? What the fuck? I feel like this isn't that. It's not that deep. It's I'm not conservative, but I think that gay people choose to be gay, and it's all a trend, guys. Don't expose that to my children. You know?
And I think that you kind of just figure it out, and then you based on the way you grow up in your environment or whatever happens to you in life, you go one or the other way. I read it. What happens to your life? I know he's going to talk about sexual assault and gay people. Hold on. Statistic, you can have your team look it up, but it was a majority of people that are part of the LGBTQ have had some sort of traumatic sexual experience in their life.
How did I fucking know the next talking point was going to be talking about traumatic experiences of LGBTQ people? It's like I have fucking mush brain from how much I engage with some of these dumb fucking conservatives. Not all conservatives are dumb. I have a lot of conservative family. I just wanted you guys to understand that. But holy fuck, the second that he said that, I knew this motherfucker was going to go off onto a tangent, and I was going to try to say that people who are LGBTQ are only that because they get sexually assaulted. I'm fucking shitting, coming, and farting. It's just I knew it. I knew it was coming up. I fucking knew it was coming up. Fuck. Okay, listen. First and foremost, it's possible that maybe some people become LGBTQ from a trauma response. Okay, if you were let's say you were aggressively molested by a man as a young girl, maybe you would hate men so much that you became a lesbian. That's possible. I don't really know. I would assume more though that LGBTQ people in society are ostracized more. We were talking before about young gay boys and how they don't have enough fatherly influence. What's more likely is that they're more feminine, which means that they are ostracized by their male peers because they're feminine, especially in a society that doesn't value gay people. And they're more vulnerable to being molested. I think it's possibly a mixture between the two. There you go. But we also know that not everybody that experiences a trauma turns gay. So, I mean, someone brought it to my house, I'm all right. It's interesting to think about, but what you have to understand is that this person is saying, let's say it's true, that if they are basically bad for being molested, because that's what the outcome. Well, being LGBTQ is bad because they get molested and it makes them gay. Okay, if they're being gay as their trauma response, why are they a bad person for it? It doesn't make, what you're saying makes no sense. It's just silly goosery.
they have some sort of traumatic event happen in their life that greatly influences their coming out or
you don't know that part
decision or whatever.
Being gay is a traumatic experience, especially in like a southern fucking country where like coming out as gay could be like that can be incredibly mentally disturbing or disrupting to just like ponder coming out as gay to a family member. It's a lot more complicated than this fucking little baby brain knows.
To be whatever it is that they want to be. And also, although it's a very small portion of the population of them, which I think it's like, I don't know what percent it is, they are responsible for a majority of like the sexual, what is the word?
No, they're not.
Like sexual cases, like molestation, like
no,
sexual abuse cases, like they're responsible for it.
So first of all, hold on, because now I have to like fucking begin. First of all, if you're going to say that the gay people come from a trauma response of being molested in the first place, understand that people who are molested have a higher chance of being molesters because it's like some kind of psychological process, right? So it's not their fault that somebody else molested them. Second of all, being a pedophile doesn't make you gay. All right, there are plenty of fucking pedophiles who want to molest little boys that they're attracted to women. That they're not gay, they're pedophiles. It's a completely different thing. Additionally, it's mostly men. So if you want to sit here and be like, well, it's mostly gay people. No, it's not. It's mostly men. Men do a lot of bad things. I love men. I'm not even gay. I am a man. But realistically speaking, men commit most of the crimes. They do most of the child molestation. They commit most rapes. They commit most assaults. They commit most murders. They commit most of everything, to be honest with you. There's something about men that's a little sussy sometimes, right? So to say, oh, it's mostly gay people. Oh, is it? I would say it's mostly men. Let's completely demonize all fucking men then. Let's demonize all men. It's so interesting that it's these fucking weak boys that pretend to be men who will condemn LGBTQ people for being the majority of molesters. But when it comes to men raping, murdering, killing, not doing anything that would be considered homosexual, even though pedophilia isn't homosexual, it's a different thing. All of a sudden, oh no, it's not all men. Not all men, guys. Not all men. It's not all men. It's not all men. It's not all men, guys. The fact that there's a not all men, a kill all men movement really bothers me because not all men are bad. But since there is a disproportionately higher amount of gay people doing this shit, which there's frankly not, all of a sudden we need to get rid of fucking gay people. It's just another excuse. If you're going to operate with the logic that that gay people are bad because there are some pedophiles that molest boys, male pedophiles that molest boys, which aren't gay, by the way, then all men need to fucking die. That's your logic. Being a man is bad. We need more trans women. That's the only logical perspective that you could operate with if you want to restrict LGBTQ access because you think that they molest people at higher rates. Because it's not them, it's fucking men. Okay? Like I said, I love men. But holy fuck, to just boil this down to such a dumb fucking unintelligence perspective that you've clearly never even looked into. You're just an idiot. And what you're saying is dangerous. You're not a good role model. You're a weak boy fucking cosplaying as a man. Fucking weak. I'm so tired of weak men like this. This is pathetic. You're a fucking loser. Don't talk about shit that you don't know anything about. Oh, I go to high schools and I ask them what they think about gay people. Talk to a fucking adult. I have gay family and I have gay friends, and it's fucking pathetic when you hear this dumb bullshit, which historically has been used to fucking kill gay people every day by some dumb fuck that has no education on anything. All he knows how to do is buy stuff from an online website and sell it somewhere else, and he pretends that he has anything that he should be talking about. And it fucking blows the shit through my ass. Like, people have gotten hurt because of dumb fucking perspectives like this. And the worst part is, it's a casual perspective. He has no investment into actually thinking this way. It's just like an off turn. It's just like, oh, the sink is leaking. Like, it is not even close to the front of his mind. He just decided one day that he heard one thing. It makes him a little uncomfortable because gay people make him uncomfortable. And he's created an entire philosophy of believing every dumb fucking thing that somebody will say that is anti-LGBTQ while dismissing all the pro shit. And this is the biggest problem. It's just not just the hateful individuals. It's the lazy, worthless fucking people like this who go on and they preach about this stuff so haphazardly because they have no investment in it. It means nothing to him to just shit on gay people. It's fucking pathetic. It's loser shit. You're a fucking weak person. That's fucking childish. Grow up. There's a difference between being uneducated versus this lazy fucking bullshit pandering. Like, you're a child. Grow the fuck up and educate yourself. It's fucking annoying. It's so obnoxious. I'm tired of hearing this shit. Every fucking day, the only thing I have to hear about is how bad gay people are. Every fucking day. Every fucking day. That's the number one concern, guys. It's nothing to do with like fucking poverty or homelessness or actual male mental health, which is causing a disproportionately high amount of fucking male homelessness victims. It's about fucking gay guys. Gay people being bad. That's all we have to talk about every single fucking day. Gay people, gay people. Shut the fuck up. Leave gay people alone. Focus on something that fucking matters. Holy shit. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm gonna take an actual pipe and shove it into my fucking penis. Oh my god. It rots my brain. It fucking blows my mind. So annoying. It just fucking triggers the shit out of me. Fucking Jesus Christ. Holy fuck. Sorry. I'm in a little goblin mode there. Take a deep breath. Oh my god, though. Holy fuck. Alright. I'm taking a second. Let's play it.
Which would just mean that it would make sense because if they were sexually abused, then they would be more likely to sexually abuse. I'm sure you learned that in therapy.
You think gay people are more likely to be abusive to children?
Sexually abusive? I think that's a statistic, yeah. I think that's true. I believe so.
It's not true, but okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not true. Because let me ask, I'll fact check that, but do kids choose their upbringing?
No,
okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, kids don't choose their upbringing, and then they become adults, and then they have this inner commitment. They want to be true to themselves inside them to be gay. So at what point are they choosing to be gay?
I don't know, Ethan, and you're going to try to frame me as like someone that doesn't like gay people.
You clearly do not particularly care for gay people with the dumb shit that you're saying. Like you're trying to frame me. No, you're an idiot. You're not asking questions. You're asserting that you think that these things are true, and you keep saying I think, which means you know that you're not even fleshed out of what you're saying. You're just a moron.
Anything against gay people at all? If someone wants to be gay, they should be gay, and that's fine. If it makes them happy, then do that. I have friends that are gay, so I don't know.
You said it was a choice. You're asserting that you think that it's not okay to be gay. Like that's pretty. Doesn't take a lot of smarty pants interpretations to understand this.
Like in this podcast, you're going to try to make me look bad, but it's not going to work here. I don't have anything against gay people.
I'm having a conversation with stuff you said. For example, there's this idea that gay people are predators. That's super homophobic and actually super wrong, right? There's no credible scientific study or evidence to suggest that lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans people are more likely to sexually abuse children than heterosexual. In fact, research has consistently shown that sexual orientation is not a predictor of sexual offending of a child. The American Psychological Association, among other professional organizations, has stated that there's no empirical evidence to support the notion that homosexuality is a risk for child sexual abuse.
So I found a study actually that I read that said there's 4
quote the study. Show me the study. Let's do that part.
Environments the child can grow up in, right? Or more than that, but you have married male, female. You could have unmarried male, female, married male, male, married female, female. And the absolute best case scenario for a child, the best environment was married male and female for various reasons. And that the worst environment was unmarried female and female.
What are you saying?
For various reasons. And that the worst environment was unmarried female and female.
What statistic are you referencing?
And they reported that they followed these kids throughout their lives, and they saw that these kids were often more depressed, they had more anxiety, they had trouble paying attention in school, etc., etc. So I read that study.
So first and foremost, this isn't even okay. Oh my god, my brain's rotting. First of all, male female doesn't necessarily indicate relationship, right? Married male female does, but male female doesn't. So female female, they could be in a relationship, they could not be, versus male female married. Okay. I want to be very clear here, because again, very basic stuff that this idiot doesn't understand. Obviously, a relationship with a man is going to have better outcomes for children overall because men make more money. Part of that is because men gravitate towards jobs that do make more money. Part of that is because of sexism excluding girls from having particular jobs. Part of that is us as a society not valuing jobs that are considered more feminine, like social work, right? But it has nothing to do with those individuals. It has everything to do with the financial access that those individuals have and can provide to other people. That's probably what it's mostly attributed to. Okay, like hot take, fucking married people should have kids. What statistic are you even citing though? Because it's also, gay people tend to have a harder time getting as well good jobs too. So the factor, from all I can assume, it seems to specifically be lack of access to decent jobs because of not accepting LGBTQ people. Because openly gay people will make less money because we still have homophobias. Now, legally, that's gone, but socially, there's still a problem. And you see the problem in people like this who are just saying dumb shit about gay people constantly. What statistic? I saw a statistic. What, did you interview high schoolers for your statistic? Because that seems to be where all your statistics come from, are fucking 15-year-olds, because you value 15-year-olds a lot for some reason. That's very bizarre. Because you feel you're very mature for your age of 24. Do you feel they're very mature for their age too? We're going on a really interesting path. Holy fuck. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, when I looked up, the first thing I tried to look up, kids raised by same-sex partners fare same as or better than kids of straight couples. Okay, I don't even know if that's true. But, like, what's his article referencing? Everything is just saying that, like, gay people raise kids better. I mean, I don't know if I believe that, but I don't really care. Where did he get his argument from? Can you give me cite your source? Say something.
If it's true, which I don't think it is. It's probably because the kids get bullied for having gay parents.
That's actually,
I'll link to the study.
that makes sense too. Link it to me now!
You could read it. I don't think it's necessarily because they get bullied for having gay parents.
I mean, you sound like the kind of guy that would bully gay people, so yes, it seems like that.
It could be because the man gives something that the child needs and the woman gives something that the child needs, and that's just the best scenario for the child, as it's always been.
Or maybe men just make more money, and straight people have easier times not getting oppressed and getting jobs. Holy fuck.
The birth of our species, it's always been this way, and that's why it's probably still the best way.
Right, but
probably. I'm going to make sure I use really plausible deniability language. Probably, maybe. I think so. Okay, kinda. Incredible stuff.
Like, let's assume that's true. Like, who cares, right?
Well, you would want your kid to grow up and not...
Well, of course.
You know what else could be a factor as well? Where do the kids come from? Are the kids biological kids? Because gay people disproportionately adopt. So if you have a kid that was adopted, they're going to come with more issues because, like, their parents didn't want them, which sucks. And I don't mean to be insensitive, but that's the reality. Their parents didn't want them in some capacity. Maybe they couldn't take care of them for whatever reason. And so, like, that could be where that comes from. Maybe the kids came with more issues because their parents abandoned them. I could imagine that. There's not having a father. I could see where I have some of my own issues, so I couldn't imagine if both of your parents didn't want. So, like, there's so many fucking wild variables that are engaged here that, like, we can't even make a one consistent argument. Like, there's too much going on here, and you've just decided because why? Because you're the smartest guy, I guess. Like, it doesn't make sense.
My kid's gonna grow up. I fucked my wife. I fucked my wife, and we had a kid.
A lot of the studies tilt towards the gay parents because adoption is cost prohibitive, so the same-sex pairs will be in a really okay. So that makes sense actually. So that's why the statistic says that gay people are better parents than straight people because they tend to it's the gay people that actually have access to money that are able to adopt. That makes sense. Okay, I think that at the end of the day, the discrepancy is probably so incredibly small that it doesn't fucking matter. And who gives a shit? Like, who gives a fuck? I mean, like, it's just dumb. Like, this guy is homophobic. He's like, I'm not mean about it. Yeah, but you're dumb about it. Like, that's fucking, like, your ignorance is not helping anybody. So.
It's none of my. You said you just wanted to be left alone, bro. Why do you care?
You're asking me. That's why I'm responding.
Okay. What do you do with the data? The data has some application.
We have 7 minutes, Ethan. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I would like to see the study.
Or is that out of the question?
No. You're right. Let's move on. It's not that. It's whatever.
Yeah, fuck gay people, right?
I want to show you.
This is one of those things where, like, I understand it. It's going to be difficult to have, like, you know, to be a little more engaged in these talking points, but it would have been so nice if Ethan had somebody on hold that knew it, that could push back in some capacity some of this dumb fucking shit. Like, really, it would be really nice to personally. I think it would be necessary, frankly, because Jesus Christ, man, it's just fucked.
Well, first, okay, let's just do this. I know you don't have a lot of time. Your thoughts on Andrew Tate real fast. I just want to address this with you.
He obviously likes the guy.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So just tell me real fast. Do you think he's a role model?
Okay,
Do
so
you think he's a
this
good guy?
needs to
Like, I just want
stay
to
on
hear
here.
you talk about him in short. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll tell you what I think. And please don't interrupt me so I can get everything out.
Just try to be succinct.
He's innocent.
Because we don't have a lot of time.
There are some things about Tate that are good things that men would want to emulate, and there are some things that you should absolutely not.
Like
emulate.
what? Let's hear it.
There are both. There are bad and good. So that's where I stand.
So I think
the good is he works out, which is good for your fitness. He makes a lot of money, and it's good to strive to do better. But obviously, not everybody's going to become rich and famous. The bad, sex trafficker. I'm thinking maybe there are pretty good guys that aren't sex traffickers. I could be so wrong though. I don't know. Maybe all men are bad. I like to think that they're not, because again, guys, I love men. I'm so fucking gay.
So
the good ones are obvious.
Good or bad?
The good ones are obvious. Like, we know he's like rich and successful and whatever, yada yada yada. So what are the bad ones? That's what I'm curious about.
Okay, I starting a agency and like an OnlyFans agency or webcam agency, I don't think that men should ever aspire to do that ever. Sleeping with a bunch of girls and having.
Okay, let's be clear. Okay, I don't really care if you do an OnlyFans or a webcam agency. It's understand that it's not. He doesn't just do an OnlyFans. People, generally speaking, the way that like an OnlyFans agency works, right? It's my job to know, guys. Okay, is that guys will either approach girls who don't do OnlyFans, or they will approach girls who already do it and say like, "Listen, oh, now I understand what I'm supposed to do. Fuck." And they'll sit here and they'll say, "Listen, we will take 50% of what you. We'll give you a bunch of money up front. We'll take 50% of what you do, and then what will happen is that we're just gonna run your business, and you just have to send us pictures that we ask for." And so like it's generally makes sense. The way most webcam models work is somewhat similarly. Andrew Tate is very explicit in saying that he operates his business differently than most people. He says he treats them like, or webcam models says he treats most of them like prostitutes. He's talked about engaging in the lover boy method. Overall, not a good guy. Not a great guy in the way he's talked about it. It's not just he sells porn. Like, he's manipulative about it. It's so different. And you okay.
Like all these girls with
just
you and
constant downplay.
I disagree with that.
And on top of that, he advocates against porn and he sells porn. Like, it's hypocritical. You're gonna sit here and come all over Ethan for being hypocritical. What the fuck are you doing? What's happening here? Is Andrew Tate not hypocritical then? Like, it's insanely hypocritical. Like, what the fuck?
Those two things, absolutely. And then what else is there?
The sex trafficking.
He's too blunt. Like, he's a little bit too hard. He's
sex
too
trafficker.
aggressive. I think that you need to calm down. But I also think that he is that way on the internet, and in reality, he's a lot less aggressive.
I doubt. Yeah, you said that you literally hate farm on the internet. So how are you going to make that claim? It doesn't really make that much sense to me. Oh, I just realized what I was supposed to do. It's going to take me even longer to do this shit now.
That's just what I
think
believe,
he's a sex trafficker?
I don't know. I think that there's a chance that,
based on what he said, there's like a 95% chance that he's a sex trafficker. So I'm just listening to what he said. I think I have it in this video. You guys will be able to see it. It's always
could be framed. But also there's a lot of information that I don't know. But I don't think him being framed is crazy. I don't think that's completely out of the question. I think that he pissed off a lot of people, and those people don't want him to talk. No. Did you see the real quick? Yes or no?
The Matrix, guys. That's his entire argument. Is the Matrix.
Did you see the podcast with Tucker Carlson and Nelk Boys?
I know what happened. I didn't watch it.
Okay, so in the podcast, Tucker talks about Jeffrey Epstein, and he was like, Jeffrey was like, he called his brother 2 days before or something, and he's like, yeah, Jeffrey's gonna get out, everything's gonna be fine, and then boom, dead. And that was in like the New York federal prison, which was like one of the most secure places in the entire planet. There was like this many inmates that when the doors opened and they got out,
I want to have time to rebuttal. So I don't want to cut you off. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't. I guess I get what Tucker Carlson said this. I don't know if I trust Tucker Carlson. Isn't there a lawsuit that literally he was too incompetent to be able to like? I just don't know that I trust probably one of the most effective conservative grifters. And it's so funny because Tucker's not an idiot. I've seen him talk about shit. Oh, well, I died. Fuck me in the ass. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. So the cameras weren't working. The inmates got out. Jeffrey Epstein was dead. And then the next day, some people were discharged. Names were never found. Nobody knows anything. Like, this person was killed in one of the most secure locations possible. Nobody knows who did it. So yeah, I believe there are people out there that have some crazy ass power, and if Tate goes against some of the things that those people agree with, I think that those people have reason to not like him and reason to try to get him behind bars or kill him.
Okay, so everything's a conspiracy, basically. Like, nothing, like, Andrew Tate can't do anything wrong because everything's a conspiracy, and he's just speaking facts. Like, your brain is rotting at this point.
So I don't believe it's crazy for him to be falsely accused or for him to be set up. I don't believe that.
My wife's gonna be late.
He was framed. I mean, this is from just last year. You said Tate is a G brother. Jordan Peterson is a different energy, but both together are the fathers we never had. So
listen, Jordan Peterson, I can appreciate. I feel like I look at Jordan, he says some very intelligent stuff. I'm gonna be very real. It's just that some of his stuff on social issues is a little bit ignorant. You know what I mean? A little bit ignorant. That's the part where I kind of loses it for me. But he's a really smart guy, and I died, and I'm gonna fucking poop my pants.
So obviously you look up to him, and you think, well, maybe, but he's probably framed. So I want to show you a video. May I?
Okay.
This is a video. It's not long. This is a video from Hustler University, which is his e-commerce course. That was
I'm gonna die again.
Unearthed. So let me just play this for you. This is Andrew Tate speaking for himself.
They start saying things like, oh yeah, you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling is a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. So it's a good little caveat to throw in. Oh, and you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear from the girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. So you don't need to pay tax to anybody. You need to tell your girl that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. So the girl's working with you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. She'll sit there and go, okay. Now that allows you to do two things. One, it's another control element. If I work with him, my tax is not a problem. If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. So control element. It allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I'd give them 3, and I'd keep 7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. So you're on 50%, but we have to pay the tax first, and then it's 50-50. If they say, why is it 50-50? Because I'm the one on camera. You say, because I'm the one typing, I'm the one with the property you're working in, I'm the one paying the bills, the electricity, I'm the one who's, and the electricity and every other maintenance cost of this property, I'm the one who bought the equipment, I'm the one who knows.
Hey guys, I'm cosplaying as Andrew Tate right now. Look at me. Kind of the same, right? You gotta rip a woman's head off. Come on, bottom bitch! That's why you listen to me, motherfucker. Damn, that's terrible. How horrible is it? I feel terrible for that joke. Not for Andrew Tate, but just for the entire social conversation. That's what I feel bad for.
Knows what he's doing. I'm the one with the knowledge. I'm the da-da-da-da-da. Shut the fuck up. Go on. And they should be pretty happy with that if they respect you as a person overall.
I wish he would show the part in this video where he talks about how he treats them differently than most webcam models, like they're prostitutes, which is a huge red flag. I don't know if you've ever met, like, again, meet a prostitute. They're fucking abused constantly.
So really you're paying 30, you tell them you're paying 50. The difference is in the tax. That's where the disparity lies, taxes. If they don't believe you, they want to get fresh or whatever, print out some tax forms. I do this all the time. I just print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here, sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Oh, okay. And they just sign away. They don't want to fucking sign it. I'll throw them away afterwards. But they think something's happening. Something real is happening. Nothing's happening. It's like medium rich page.
There's more to that video that you could have gotten there, Ethan. That would have been a little more convincing, but okay.
Was that interesting to you? What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, what do you want me to do? I don't like that.
You didn't really get a very good cut of that video. You could have got you probably could have got the part where he talks in his Hustlers University from a long time ago about how he basically uses the lover boy method. There's probably better information. They combined the part where he says he treats them like prostitutes. Okay.
I disagree with the way he talks about women in the video for sure.
Do you think he was framed after watching that?
Well, I don't think that doesn't provide any evidence as into sex trafficking. He was just talking about how he.
It does a little bit when he's talking about how this like methodical method of like having a bottom bitch set these girls up. Like it is a kind of part of the lover boy method, but it's not really. There's more there that I wish he brought up. Like here we go. This is from his original Hustlers University. This is a video from the Mimi. I'm just gonna put it in the description too for if you want to watch it. But he ended up removing this. First thing, keeping 4 girlfriends all happy is hard work and leaves very little time. So you learn how to streamline getting new good girlfriends. All women are not created equal. This is how I came up with the PhD system. I learned the most time-efficient way to meet girls, get them through the dating process, get them to bed, test if they're good or not, and begin the process of them falling deeper and deeper into love. That is my skill, to extremely efficiently get women to fall in love with me. That's it. And no one else on the internet is teaching this. No one. He goes on to talk about how he gets these girls to come from other countries, promises that he's going to marry them, and then he gets them to do webcam business, and then he basically breaks off the relationship, takes their passports, won't let them leave unless he's convinced that they're in love with him. This is a form of grooming, frankly. We gotta come to the table with a little bit more. It was a decent clip, but I think that there's more in that clip. The problem is I've seen that clip too, and there's more in there that's like very telling. Like I would have brought up the part about like treating your girl like a prostitute and whatnot. So yeah.
Strong arms and manipulates women into like working with him.
Well, he started by saying
you don't have to strong arm somebody to manipulate them.
Started by saying, what you just said is coercive sex trafficking.
Strong arming somebody into working with you. That's the trafficking part. That's
yeah, true.
That much, and I figured out it's sex trafficking. So what
maybe I just don't know that.
Well, that's sex trafficking.
Maybe he did. Maybe you don't.
So if I know, that's kind of hard to figure out.
Well, he started by saying, I bring a girl over. She doesn't want to do webcam work. So I bring my bottom bitch. You know what that is, right?
I figured that out.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Maybe
it's
I'm
like your main prostitute, your main
sex
working girl who is on your side in terms of convincing the women and putting forward narratives and helping keep the women in check. So he brings the bottom bitch. They all go out together. He says, I have the bottom bitch explain why it's such an awesome job to her. She doesn't want to do it at first, but we convince her with this bottom bitch. Then we bring her to my compound where I steal money from them.
I know.
Yeah.
So that definitely does not that does not look good for sure. Like
at least
it doesn't look good, but.
Look.
I don't know about you, but if I knew someone that said that shit, I would be. I'm out.
Like I said, I think Tate has some good things about him, and there are some things I don't like about him. But
don't you think you're putting?
But though to downplay, he has some good things. Like he tells you to go to the gym is like really the only good thing he says, and he doesn't even go into depth about like the process of going into the gym. Like what, like how do you like operate? What do you do once you get there? You know, by the way, guys, Wendler 531, 5x5 strong lips. You guys know what I'm about. Okay. Anyway. Like there's not in depth. So we're talking about somebody who like admittedly sex traffics, and you're like, well, there's some still good stuff. What are you talking about? Is some like not to be really personal, but I think we have to be. If somebody like raped your mother and was like also had like a course like was also a high school teacher, would you be like, well, he does some good stuff too? Like yeah, he raped your mother. Like we're at a point now where like these minor benefits that are going on. Which by the way, he reached out to minors to try to get them to do shit too. Like it came out that he was like reached out to like a fucking 15-year-old or some shit. Like it kind of feels like maybe you're fucking downplaying it. What the fuck is happening? You're downplaying this shit.
I think it mildly when you go, there's some things I don't like about him, because what he just said is he's admitting to several crimes, and I know sex trafficking maybe is not sometimes as obvious as people think, but he did describe what sex trafficking is.
Is he in jail?
He is in jail.
For how long?
Well, his trial is on. He's been detained he's in detention, but his trial hasn't happened yet.
As of right now, I think he's out on like house arrest, but they couldn't because the way that it works in Romania, you have to re-up every 30 days while this stuff is pending. So that's where we're at right now.
He's locked up. Yeah.
So you're safe because he's not around.
I'm safe.
Not you. I mean, people are safe.
The women are safe.
Yeah, people are safe.
Women are safe.
The women are safe.
So
G Lane was Epstein's bottom bitch.
It's almost 3 minutes. That doesn't look good. Just to finish that off, it's pretty shitty by him in my opinion, and
pretty shitty.
I don't think anyone should look up to that part of him at all, for sure.
You shouldn't look up to him at all. That is part of him.
I mean, you can pick things from people.
No, you can't.
You can take the good things and leave the bad, but yeah.
No, not really. You can't be like, oh, this guy was like, hey guys, Hitler, you know, I know he killed all these Jews, but you know, he did rebuild Germany. No, like you can't do this kind of shit. Like he's a bad person, right? The things that you can value in him, that's nice. They're not, and there's nothing particularly like profound about like what he says. So, oh my God. So like, yeah, I mean, we got to stop with this cope. This fucking cope. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's actually crazy.
The good part being he's jacked and does karate.
And he motivates people to get in the gym and yeah.
Yeah, but he also sex traffics women.
But he goes to the gym.
But we're all
he goes to the gym. He's cool.
It's that
Ethan.
A lot of people say Hitler was a great. I hate to go back, but it's just so easy. Hitler was he did all kinds of. He motivated people. He really did motivate people. But
he was a bad person.
I don't want to just be a person. Ethan. I told you I have to go, and I want to.
How did I die?
He says, "I love raping you" to a woman who accused him of rape. That's a WhatsApp text obtained from a subpoena.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we wrap it up, or do I have to leave?
We can wrap it up.
I do want to say
I appreciate all the time that you spent here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
I did not expect it to be this long.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I died to the fire.
We had a contentious conversation. You learned a new word today.
I never finished my story either, Ethan. You never let me finish my story.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't have time now, but you can watch my video on it.
Did you change my life?
You don't think it's that interesting?
You said you would change my life. Do you think that you've achieved your goal?
I don't know. I think that we're going to need multiple sessions. We don't have to record them, but you could give me your phone number. I can call you and we can talk more.
Do you really think you can help me, that you have knowledge, that you can motivate me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I could open up your mind.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
100%.
And you know that I'm like, I'm the traditional male that you dream of, dude. I'm married. I've got kids. I'm rich. I run my own business. Don't you think you should be asking me for advice?
No, not even.
But I am the traditional male dream.
Because you're fat, Ethan.
But you don't go to the gym.
Yeah, you're fat.
Well, that's it.
There are some things I could probably learn from you, but no, there's definitely things you could learn from me.
You value monogamy, heterosexuality, children, and wealth. I have all those things.
Ethan, you could learn more from him. No, you could learn more from him. Olivia and I, we agree on that one note. Right?
Here's my words of wisdom. You're a 24-year-old. You don't know shit about life. As all 24-year-olds, you have hubris. That's your downfall. You would be so much more open, receptive, and respectable if you had some humility. Exactly. You need to have humility.
I have more humility. I have more humility than you do.
You see what you just said?
That's such a hypocritical thing to say.
You literally just did it.
You one-upped.
I said I have more humility than you. Don't you see that that's an ironic statement?
You are being such a hypocrite.
Don't you see?
You
said I have more humility than you. Like, do you see how stupid that is?
Like all of your content is hate.
The problem is that, like, yeah, of course, Ethan has made hypocritical content. of course. But the problem now that we face is that like that's the only argument people will say now. Oh, everything's hypocritical. Like it's almost like a toxic disease on the internet where like once somebody does one bad thing, they are that thing forever. Oh, you were being a hypocrite here. Yeah, sure. I think everybody has those moments, but all of a sudden that's the entirety of everything now. And so all he's doing, like, I just don't think that he has formulated his own opinion. I think that he came on here because it's usually pretty easy to just kind of like say things like, "Oh, Ethan, you're such a hypocrite," and like you just instantly win because that's what the hive mind is saying about Ethan. And again, there are moments, of course, for all of us. But it's interesting that some of those arguments come from people who are vastly more hypocritical than Ethan. So it's something to keep in mind. Am I taking damage? How the fuck am I taking damage there? Oh my god! Fucking die!
How can you go on and brag about being more humility?
I criticize people. I'm a comedian.
Look at. Oh my god! All right,
I'm inspiring men.
I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die here because I took damage to doing that.
Finish off on a good thought. To literally be more mature than this nearly 40-year-old person here that invited me to a show.
37.
You're not having this. I'm already
52.
Well, the difference of our age was quite apparent, but I do wish for you.
I'm going to leave now.
I do wish for you to have more
humility.
humility.
Keep going like a little child.
More humility.
Give us a flex to end it on a good note. Give us a flex.
Let's see the muscles.
Flex us up.
Yeah.
There it is.
Take your shirt off. Let me see the pecker.
Do Dr. Fidel. Do it, Dr. Fidel. Shirt off. Shirt off, Dr. Fidel.
You work hard for it. Show it off, brother.
See you later, my friend.
All right, nice
I
chatting.
hope
Thanks for
we can
calling.
talk again soon.
Yeah, maybe we will actually. But I appreciate you spending the time and sitting through it all. So thank you, man. Appreciate it. Really do.
Okay.
Have a good night.
All right, take care.
Have a good
Recording
night.
stopped.
There it is.
Oh,
There's
recording
love.
stopped.
I don't know if he knew that was live because he recorded the Zoom.
Well, I would be surprised if he didn't know because he seemed to do a lot of research watching like 2 hate videos on YouTube about you before coming into this call.
He knew it.
All right. Well, that was a hell of a video. That was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but that was interesting. Yeah. Oh, cool.